I'm not in love with him.
Absolutely.
All right.
I guess if he could be like in somebody else's body, if he could be somebody else, he wouldn't be a bad choice.
Who?
Tom Brady. What do you mean, who?
I didn't know what you were talking about.
You weren't listening to the promo that played just a second
I did hear
ago?
the promo, yeah.
Yeah. And who are they talking about?
Tom
We're
Brady.
talking about George W. Bush.
No, they only talk about him in these ratings on Bush.
Yeah, they're you know something. Pretty soon he's going to get into Joel Feinberg territory.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a one share. Fewer than 1 in 10 adults say they would prefer a congressional candidate who's a Republican and agrees with Bush on major issues. That's
but he's turning the corner now. Now that he's gone to Asia, he's turning the corner, and hopefully he'll get lost and won't come back.
That's devastating.
Yeah, and then the worst part of it is we still got 3 years to go. Yesterday I said something about another year with this, and then I realized that's the congressional election next year.
Right.
We got 3 more years of this crap, of this second stolen election.
Well, he's not going to be able to accomplish anything. So,
well,
he
can do a lot of damage. If you think he's done damage now,
there's
if you think 2068 dead Americans is bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. And now the Republicans are clamoring today. They're coming up with this. They want a resolution to demand a timetable for withdrawal from Iraq because they're starting to get really nervous about what's going to happen next year.
Sure. Meanwhile, everybody says it was a mistake to go in there in the first place, and now they're saying it's a mistake to get out.
Yeah, well, how do you get out? That's the problem.
Yeah.
I just say let them have their election next month and say, okay, you're on your own. We did a nice job for you. We got rid of Saddam, and good luck to you, and see ya. And then you can go into Syria. You know, that thing with the Jordanians, the more I think about it, the more it really frosts my fat old pimply ass, this business about, they're protesting in the streets and they're outraged and indignant. When other people were getting killed by these crazy ragheads, then it was okay. Then they had nothing to say. But now it's some of their people get blown up, and it's happening right there in front of their ugly raghead faces, and right away now they're opening up a big mouth. Where were they before? When all these other countries where people are getting blown away, including here. Bastards.
Meanwhile, there's a story by a guy named Andrew Weil in Herald today.
Is Andrew Wild?
Yeah, it's about how you can be sexy at 60.
Yeah, right.
Right. Now, we should be very sexy, you and I. It says, avoid high-risk sports that can lead to injury.
Yeah, I'm doing a good job of that. Yeah, the hardest sport that I participate is hitting them buttons at Woodbine.
Reduce stress through simple breathing exercises.
Yeah, well, you should work on that with your sleep apnea. Whatever happened with that? Do you still...
No.
Huh?
I never did anything about it.
Well, what is it? What do you do for it? There's nothing you can do?
I don't think
You just hope you wake up every day?
Yeah. You know what? I don't wake up in a sweat or anything like that. I just sleep.
What does that mean? Is that part of sleep apnea? You wake
when
up
you
in
have
a sweat?
sleep apnea, what happens is your heart stops in the middle of the night.
Yeah, well, at least it gives you a little rest. When you get to be our age, you can use a rest.
Yeah, but then when it gets cranked up, it has to work so hard to get started again that you break out into a sweat.
Yeah, especially when the horses are in the last 16th, at the 16th pole.
You know what?
And your horse starts gasping for oxygen. And you start
there was
doing
a horse yesterday. I went out to Calder yesterday, okay?
Yeah. Probably a bad mistake.
And I'm looking at the form before I went out.
Yeah.
And there was a horse that was entered called Moe's Last Call.
Oh, here we go. I knew it was just a matter of time.
Moe's Last Call.
Yeah.
He was
and
scratched.
Punch your guts?
They scratched him.
Oh, yeah.
I was ready to send it all in.
You ready to scratch Moe?
Yeah.
Is he kin to Satch Moe? Scratch Moe? Pompano Park reopens November 17th for simulcasting, and live racing resumes December 2nd. I knew you'd be excited to hear that.
Yeah.
Not that you go there, but at least it's plenty.
I only went there. Last time I was there, I had dinner with you there.
Right.
It was after you first came here to the station.
To the station, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a good time. I gave you a whole bunch of it.
I had a great time.
If you'd have known that I knew my crap as well as I did, you'd have
you
your guts out all the time.
You had a couple of winners, not just at Pompano, but
no, the simulcasting Northville Downs was running.
That's right. You had a
couple
of winners. I remember
Daryl Wright won race 3-1 shot. Well, see, I remember races from 45 years ago. Now that's a very scary thing.
Yes, it is.
And I desperately need a lobotomy to get all that stuff out of my head.
I told you I'd been to Northfield Downs.
Northville. Yeah, Northville. Northfield's
the one outside
Northville.
of Detroit.
Right.
Yeah.
The first horse I ever bet on was Eldora-Jenko. Was the number 9 horse driven by Don McLemore in the first race at Hazel Park, and he won the race. I bet $2 to show, and he was the favorite. He paid $2.60, and that was the beginning of a long, sad tale.
You know what? I remember my first winner, too.
Really?
Yep. And I was like 17 at the time. and it was a horse called Heavenly Girl at Monmouth.
Yeah.
Paid $50, and I was hooked.
I'll be damned.
$50 horse, like my second race I ever bet.
I've had two $50 horses in my life, as a matter of fact. But let's not talk about horse racing. Let's talk about girls with guns. You see this story in Miramar this morning?
No, I didn't see that one.
17-year-old girl shot another teenage girl on the bus in Miramar. They got in an argument yesterday, so I guess she decided today we're going to settle it. And so now we got girls bringing guns to school and blowing up. It won't be long before we have girls going into the classroom and like just blowing everybody away. That's going to be next. That's part of the American mentality.
It's part of the culture.
Right. There's no question about it. We got just as many guns here, like Michael Moore showed in Bowling for Columbine. We got because all the people here are hunters, and yet it's a rare thing. Although we do have 65 murders here this year in Toronto, which they're a little nervous about that. But that's like 10% of what you'd have in Detroit at the same time.
Doesn't Denmark have gun control, like no guns? One of those countries.
Well, most of those countries, like Holland, you don't ever hear of anybody with a gun in Holland.
No. I hear of them shotgunning over there, but it's a different meaning.
Yeah, exactly. Did you ever get approached by one? When's the last time you were in Amsterdam?
It's been a while.
By those street peddlers?
Yeah.
Oh, ecstasy? Viagra? That's the new one. Viagra? Crack?
I stayed, the first time I went there, I stayed in this little hotel called The Post. It was like, a bed and breakfast type place.
Yeah.
And they had pipes down in the living room area.
Right.
And they were filled at night.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody just went down and joined in. It was no big deal.
There you go. No, it is no big deal. That's another part of the whole juvenile attitude of America with drugs and sex and everything is just so like tee-hee, everything like breasts. You go any European country that I've been in, you turn on the over-the-air TV, forget about cable, even in Italy, even in where the Pope gets all bent out of shape, and there's like breasts, nudity, all kinds of stuff on over-the-air TV. Nobody's having a nervous breakdown. Nobody's writing letters to the FCC. Nobody's, when you stop and think about that whole business about Janet Jackson, which is now going on 2 years that happened. That was just an excuse to start this whole fascist deal now. I mean, what was the big deal with that? That was like
you couldn't even see it.
No, you couldn't even see like the breast itself. It was like a 1/10 of a second episode that they made up into this gigantic, like the sky is falling.
So you see who the halftime show is this year?
Billy Graham?
Mariah Carey.
Oh, brother. Well, she's got one breast in the middle of her chest. I sure hope that doesn't come plopping out. She's gruesome. By the way, hey, Mariah, I hate to break the news to you, but Luis Miguel ain't interested. Hey, Luis.
You fairy.
He ain't interested in the least bit. Look at that. 60% disapprove of your president. Oh, brother, the numbers are dropping like Iraq.
It's as we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a record 37%. It goes down every month. It was 39%.
Yeah, there's one poll where he's down to 36 now. Every few days it drops another point. Now, and my question is, how could anybody be so stupid it took them this long to catch on, including the media and the Democrats and all these people like Edwards and Kerry now, we wish we had our vote to do over again. Talk about sticking your finger out the window to see which way the wind is blowing. Who the hell are they kidding? Especially John Edwards, man. He impresses me about as much as a frog's fart. He's just weak. No, he really is weak. He's kind of like Mark Berardino, only not quite as caustic. More like Ira, I guess. Was Ira on this morning?
No.
No?
He's on tomorrow morning.
Oh, gee, I think I'm going to be sick tomorrow.
I guess
Thursday,
I can't afford Thursday he's on. No, he's on tomorrow. You guys are confusing me.
Let's see. He's on tomorrow and Thursday.
He's on tomorrow.
And Thursday?
No, just tomorrow.
How about, when is he on? And what's that promo that we're running for you where you're talking to Shaq and we can't understand a word? It's like, have you heard that?
I heard the interview. I did it.
No, but the promo that we're playing out of the interview, it's so muffled you can't understand anything he's saying.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
It sounds like you're in the studio and he's on Uranus. It's like on a different planet.
I don't know, but I like him a lot.
No, I'm not knocking Shaq now. Just because he's got a big head and he's a freak and like all basketball players, but he's a good guy. But nevertheless, he never stole a freight train. But it's just that you can't understand what he's saying.
I tell you, I asked him during the interview how many people he's housing now.
About 30, man.
About over 400.
400.
He's put up over 400 people who were victims of the storm.
And speaking of people, how about Jesse Jackson getting all bent out of shape?
Oh, I talked about that earlier. You know what?
Is that pathetic?
What was worse was in the game last night, a rookie receiver named Reggie Brown had a chance to make a play at the end that could have won the game for Philadelphia, but he dropped the ball. I mean, he was open, he had the ball, and then he dropped it. You know what happened? Jesse Jackson ran out on the field and stripped him of the ball. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Jesse Jackson doesn't have anything better to do.
Yeah, that's what I was saying yesterday. With all the stuff going on in the world, and he's worried about some stupid-ass football player with a big mouth. Yeah. Everything. He can make anything into a racial thing.
Yep. Well,
in fact, he was probably, when they closed down that chain of restaurants, Sambo's, he probably had his finger in that, too.
Even Terrell Owens says this is not about race.
Yeah. Well, how
can it be? The quarterback he's criticizing is also black.
Although I wonder what Bill Bennett and Rush Limbaugh think about it. Yeah. Bunch of bigoted. Oh, brother, I'm telling you, it's just you know something. It's all coming home to roost right now. All this crap. They had their party there for a few years, and a lot of innocent people died because of it. But all the stuff is coming home to roost now, and just slapping them right back in the face.
Yeah, it's hard to be smug about it though. It's terrible.
Even Jimmy Carter, who's known as he's a Sunday school teacher, he's just railing against these right-wing goyim now, these fundamentalists, and about how crazy they. He says they're all white male bigots, is what they are. Just he's been pretty good the last few days. Like he had just a moment or two of sanity.
Pat Robertson's the worst.
Well, the problem is why can't the media just say a crazy person said some more crazy crap today instead of presenting him like some spokesman for something? What is he the spokesman for besides making a quick buck?
He's nuts.
Yeah, he's a crazy person, just like all these other religious nuts. Just like Alan Finkelson told me, the only one problem with the world, and I've told you this many, many times, and I would tend to agree, too many goyim. On that note, let's see, it's Tuesday. It's probably not a big plunging day today, I wouldn't think.
No, I'm not doing anything.
Got to let your wallet heal from. You better watch when that horse runs again, that Mo horse.
I have an eye out for it. I'll let you know.
Remember that dog, Tom Jicka?
You can bet it up there.
Remember the dog, Tom Jicka?
Yes.
When Tom was doing the dog racing, which I think was perfect for him, that was...
he wasn't a bad dog.
Huh?
He wasn't a bad greyhound.
Yeah, I would agree that Tom's not a bad dog. Listen, have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Shove him off the balcony, off the edge of the press box, and when you're done, let me know about it.
All right.
See ya.
Looking for a value meal that's positively infectious? Head down to KFC Killer Flu Chicken for the Bird Flu Family Pack. 3 extra crispy legs, 2 thighs, and 4 contaminated beaks, all for only $9.99.
It's finger slicking good.
It's a killer deal on a killer meal. KFC Killer Flu Chicken.
Well, the reason I started with that bit is because a powerful car bomb exploded in front of a government building in central Karachi this morning, killing at least 3 people, wounding 12 others. It seems that the target was KFC, Killer Flu Chicken, but we'll have to wait and see. It said, I should read that. It seems to be the target was KFC, but we'll have to wait and see, said Sheikh Rashid Ahmad, Pakistan's information minister. He said the blast also occurred in front of a Pakistani Industrial Development Corporation building, but it looks like the target was KFC. How do you like that? And also that story I was telling Hank about, this is, we got a new deal now. Girls, not that it hasn't happened before, but I think this is maybe part of a startling new epidemic. A 17-year-old girl shot another teenage girl this morning on a charter school bus in Miramar, of all places. The 2 girls got into an argument yesterday, according to police, and the argument continued this morning after both girls got on the school bus. The bus was on its way to Parkway Academy Charter School around 7:45 this morning. The bus picked up the suspect first, then the victim, and then the argument continued. In the 3700 block of Woodscape Drive near County Line Road, the suspect pulled out a small handgun and fired it at it, hitting the victim in the upper torso. Bada bing! The victim was rushed to Memorial Regional Hospital in Hollywood. Her injuries are not life-threatening, thanks to the Lord. The suspect ran away. Her home, located at, it's got the address in Miramar, is now surrounded by police and a SWAT team. Oh, I sure hope she don't have a scale in the house, because that's the end of her.
Right.
2 schools in the area also are on lockdown just as a precaution. They're Annabelle C. Perry Elementary and Henry D. Perry Middle School at 3400 Wildcat Way. Never knew we had a Wildcat Way, did you?
No, I do not.
And there you go. Okay, it's 12 minutes after 10. Let's get organized here. It's a Tuesday. Tomorrow I see everybody taking the day off. It sounds like a really good idea to me, but probably won't be doing that. We got no Mo tomorrow. We got no Mad Dog. We got this is tomorrow's schedule. Wait till you hear this. Curtis at 2, which is fine, filling in for Mo. Then Eddie K for the Mad Dog in the daytime, which is a little dangerous. And then filling in for Eddie K tomorrow night is Lenny Martez. So you see, Joel, we really are trying to give you a fighting chance. We want to give you every chance in the world. We will not do anything in the world to hurt you. We're trying to, open up the door a little bit, just a little crack to see if you can stick your ugly ass in there.
Holy Mackinac! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're listening to the Hockey Authority, Neil God.
Absolutely. Doi, 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 doi. 30, man.
Before he gets blown off his feet. How much glue must he use on his head so his toupee won't fly out to sea? How many times must he stumble and fall before he wins a news Emmy? The weatherman, my friend, keeps blowing in the wind. The weatherman keeps blowing in the wind.
That's what Miss Kamal always said, and little Brian as well. It's 10:18. Oh, where the hell did I see something about Brian Andrews the other day? I was reading a little something about Brian, who's hopscotching the world for, is it CBS?
I don't know.
One of the networks, and he's got assignments all over the world. And I just can only imagine the kind of, encounters he's having.
We're not talking about women.
Well, I'm sure of that. Anyway, it's 10:19 at 5:60. The Channel 7 Fruit Farm. You thought, see, we didn't have to go all the way up the street to Sonny's Market to get our produce.
Right.
Because we had our fruit right next door. Man, there was the Paperboy and all of those. And by the way, the Paperboy, if you're listening, Craig, Adam's still not interested. Or was that Brian? I want maybe both.
Brian.
During Wilma, where did you get your best information, we asked yesterday. I don't really know what to make of this. All I know, and I told Muff before the show this morning, and I think I'm right, is that we're going to get bushwhacked in October in the ratings because there's 2 weeks in there that we're going to get screwed. Because there's a lot of people just, first, I don't know, for a variety of reasons. I could be wrong about that. Maybe all of our people are going to say, oh, we were glued to QAM, and especially to your show, Neil, during Wilma, because you were so on top of all that crap, even though you're a long ways away. Aren't you lucky? Yes. 1,534 votes. During Wilma, you got your best information from TV, audio, on radio. 347. That's what little Tommy Jicker was all whipped up about before Hank threw his ass off the balcony. TV, 344. WQAM, 285. That's a pretty decent third. That's 18.5%. That's not bad. We'll take it, right?
Yeah, we'll take it.
Considering our vast news resources and our news wire and our weather wire and all these things we don't have. The Internet, 182. If I wouldn't have had the Internet, I'd have just called in sick every day and said, you do it.
Yeah.
WIOD, 174. I got out of town, 74. See, it's good we put on there. 74 people smart enough to get to bail out. When in doubt, bail out. In fact, bail out and don't come back. The Sun Sentinel, 37. WJNO had...
About 30, man.
WFTL, 23. They finally moved up there. 850 on your dial. It'll give you a big pile. And not much of a smile, but nevertheless. WFTL. They're still right in there with that chair. Palm Beach Post, 22. And the Miami Herald is in last place. Sucking wind in last place with only 16. The Aces say. That's bad, ain't it?
Yeah, it's bad.
Even behind the Palm Beach Post for our astute audience. I think the audience hates the Herald almost as much as we do. Maybe not quite, but... George is really fond of El Herald, though, and he wishes he'd stop throwing it. Or is it the Sun Sentinel that they keep throwing it?
It's El Sentinel, and
I didn't even know there was an El Sentinel.
Well, I'll send you my copies.
Well, go to El Sentinel.
Please.
Go to FP Hell. Hate them. Not the Sun Sentinel, but FP Hell. Although we're not too fond of the Sun Sentinel. Who do we like over there? We like Mike Mayo a little bit. He's a good guy. Pretty boring. Writes 1 or 2 good columns a year. And who else? Dave Hyde. Like Dave Hyde. He's a good guy. He's also 1 or 2 good columns a year. And I'd say that's about it. Am I leaving anybody out?
Not that I know of.
Besides Hank's friend, little Tommy? Well, look at this. Get paid for your opinion. I just got a fax and ad fax. Consumer Research Services. Get paid for your opinion. Well, that's what I do. I get paid for my opinion, a lot more than what they're offering here, so up yours. Broward School Board adopts calendar to make up for Wilma days. I want to pass along just a little information before we start taking thousands of fantastic calls today. Missed some of our regular friends yesterday, but I'm sure they'll be with us today. They were probably like mopping up after the hurricane. Oh, the hurricane, speaking of that, lost to a girls' basketball team last night. Air Force, can you believe that? 57-53? A major upset is what I'm reading. And we got more of that crap. I mean, more of great Hurricanes basketball tonight, but not on this station. Because we got the Panther game, which takes precedence. Might as well give that lineup. Mo 2-4, Mad Dog 4-7. We got 3 solid hours of the Mad Dog today. You better soak it up because he's off tomorrow. Don't want to overwork his ass. Panther preview at 7. 7:30, it's the Panthers at the Montreal Canadiens to play the Frogs, the Red Hot Frogs in Josie Theodore. And what kind of a name is that for a guy named Josie? Now, the Hurricane warm-up is on 1360. That sounds like WKAT to me at 8:30. And 9 o'clock, it's the Hurricanes against Wisconsin Green Bay in the BCA Classic from Seattle. And then Eddie K on, or after the Panther game on QAM. Got all of that? You marking it down on your sleeve? Good.
Got it.
On 1360 WKAT, we got Hurricanes basketball at 9 tonight. Everybody be sure and zip over there if you care about it. Probably don't. At a special meeting yesterday, the Broward County School Board adopted a calendar to add school days to make up for the missing 2 weeks of classes caused by Hurricane Wilma. Are you aware of this?
No.
Well, you better mark these down on your other wrist. Superintendent Frank Till and Broward Teachers Union President Pat Santaramos. I wonder if he's kin to Andy Santaramo.
Who?
Harness driver. If I ever give a name that you don't know who it is, that's probably what it is. Suggested the reshuffled calendar, which brings students back one day early from the winter holiday on January the 2nd. See, I like to give names that I know that nobody except the people at Pompano Park know who it is. Like Andy Santaramo. He couldn't drive his finger up your nose. Anyway, but some school board members and parents had argued against a shortened winter break. They wanted to see more days added before the Florida Comprehensive Assessment Test would now begin in March. Instead, and in addition to trimming the winter break, and why couldn't they have had it on Veterans Day on Friday? It wouldn't be no disrespect to our veterans, but it's just not one of those like religious holidays. They could have right off the bat, right from the get-go, gotten one in, couldn't they?
Okay.
Well, don't you think that's kind of stupid?
Yeah.
Why can't they sit down? I mean, I guess they're afraid they're going to offend somebody. Oh, well, we don't want to offend the old crusty veterans because the VFW and the American Legion, they'll come here and give us what for, you know. Instead, in addition to trimming the winter break, the proposed calendar extends the fall semester until January 13, which sounds like a really unlucky day to me, and gives everybody a day off between seminars on January 17th. It also calls for a full day of classes December 16th, February 17th, March 16th, and 17th, April 27th. Now, what would I don't understand. What are these days supposed to be? I guess just teacher work days or whatever they call them?
Whatever, yeah. Planning days, I think they call
No, yeah, planning to go to Highlight, huh? If needed, Till had said he could extend the last day of classes on May 25th from half a day to a full day, and even have classes on May 26th. How do you like that? They'll get it in there. They'll get all those kids, those FCAT, and they'll pass the stupid test, and they'll be dumber than dirt. And your fat-ass governor will say, see, leaving no child behind, and the FKF. F you, fat-ass governor. FCAT my ass. Oh, 2 tornadoes again, and God is really pissed off. Wait till Pat Robertson gives us a lowdown on this. Like Little Rock and going through Ohio now, they're getting walloped again. Look at that.
Of Mount Vernon. That's right near the Kentucky border.
Oh, right near Kentucky, too, man. Them yahoos there, and that Jim Bunning, who's a crazy person, who's always screaming and yelling about faggots this and faggot that. Jim Bunning. Too many pitches got hit in the head, I think, when he pitched for the Tigers, Jim Bunning. Remember him? No. Crazy people. Crazy people run your... Oh, look at that. Tornado warning for Evansville, Indiana. Every bit like I told you, do not go to Indiana. Maybe Indiana wants you, but say El Paso. All right. Believe me, you'd like it better there, even with all the Mexicans. Here's our poll today. I did do the poll from yesterday, did I? I'm all over the place because that crossover with Hank was so heavy-duty pressure today. 383 votes already on our poll today, and it's not even 10:30 yet. Aren't you impressed? No. What? 392?
Give me a chance to answer.
We'll have 400 by the time we get to the bottom of the hour. That's some real poll power, man. There's nothing like poll power. 392 votes, the biggest fakers on TV ever is, and the reason I put faker or plural, because there's like, it's a group in the beginning, a pair. Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, 86. Anybody want to buy a condo for the Lord? Dr. Phil, 74, I knew he'd do well. He is so full of it, man. It's just oozing out of his big fat ass. Pat Robertson, 61. Hey, Pat, the Lord is really PO'd at Kentucky and LM Yahoos in Indiana. Think up a good excuse for that. Benny Hinn, 53. Bill O'Reilly, 51. Jimmy Swagger, 22. I Have Sinned. Reverend D. James Kennedy, 10. Janet Paul Crotch, 10. Whatever happened to the boy? They must have paid that guy off pretty good. They disappeared real fast. Well, that story about how he and Paul were doing something at the old Crotch. Tim Russert, 6. Yeah, pretending to be a journalist. Geraldo Rivera, 6. Wait till he goes into the Mussolini's grave. Kevin Trudeau, 5. Now, I voted for him, and he should be number 1, but you don't know who that is. We talked about him a lot. He's the faker on those infomercials selling that book about what doctors don't want you to know, and he belongs in jail again. And he's all CNBC, the gambling channel, runs his infomercials, and everybody else, A&E, all these supposedly respectable networks, and they put that faker on there who belongs in prison. Ron Popeil, 4. That's bad. Richard Simmons, 3. You should have a lot more votes. And Ernest Ainsley, can you say baby? Ernest Ainsley with a really bad piece has got a pair, and I sure wish he'd put him on his head.
This is Neil Rogers.
He's got a worse piece than Mohan.
This is 560 QAM.
Back, please. Harriet Myers, you're in the Supreme Court Pyramid Winner's Circle. For a spot on the nation's highest court, start the clock.
Oh, the Great Wall of China. Michael Moore.
Things you can see from outer space.
Right. Iraq. Ted Kennedy.
Visitor Bone.
Fairy tales. The New York Times.
Things you read.
You're a judge.
Things that aren't true.
Diapers.
Things.
Carl Rove.
Things that leak.
Yes. Wayne Gretzky. Frosted Flakes. President Bush.
Things that are the greatest.
just had to whip out that theme. I just love that show so much, and the theme song too. Something that makes me feel bad that I hate Dick Clark like poison now. Yeah, I still like Bill Cullen though. Now, how come Bill Cullen is dead and Dick Clark's still alive? It goes to show there's no God.
Well,
there's no justice. I also feel really guilty. Now, does Josh know who Bill Cullen was?
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
Oh, I think what we're going to do the rest of this week, it's only Tuesday, we're going to spend the rest of the week, forget about these stupid calls, we're going to, George and I will throw out names of people that we're pretty sure you don't know who they were. What an education you can get this week.
Yeah, well, he'll be asleep before the first half hour, though. He got his defense mechanism that way.
Yeah, he's afraid he might absorb some useful knowledge, or even useless knowledge.
I have with sports talk, in 30 seconds.
Yeah, like Joe Marks Jr., I bet you don't know him. But anyway, or Wally McElmurray. But anyway, getting back to Bill Cullen, I feel guilty about that because I like Bill Cullen a lot. He was on before either one of you were born. He was on the first Price is Right.
Okay.
And he was on a lot of quiz shows, panel shows, To Tell the Truth, I Got a Secret. And I thought his secret was he had a wooden leg. No, see, he had polio when he was a child, and so he walked with a really bad limp. And I thought I had read somewhere he had a wooden leg, and come to find out that was absolutely not true. But you'll notice if you watch the Game Show Channel, any of those old shows, they never show him moving from one, like behind the podium to wherever like in the pyramid, where they have the thing with the chairs. Though you never see him moving because he walked with a really bad limp.
I see.
So they never showed that. So I want to apologize to Bill Cullen posthumously, even though he's dead as a doornail. It's just one of those things. I thought he had a wooden leg. Didn't mean anything bad by it, Bill, but that's the way it goes. So now do you know who Bill Cullen was? No.
No.
Glasses, short brush cut,
no.
Game show host?
No.
Oh, yeah, that was that Price is Right guy.
That's the guy. Very good.
Tell me about him, Josh.
The guy with the wooden leg?
Yeah, it was the guy with the wooden leg. That's right. In fact, I think he was kin to Peg Leg Bates. A few shades lighter, but nevertheless, yeah. Like I said, WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How about that kid that used to be on CNN with the bow tie that's on MSNBC now? I don't know his name.
Tucker Carlson.
Put that dude on, okay?
No chance. He's just, the question is faker. He's not a faker. He is what you see. He's just an idiot, a nerd. Wears a bow tie. In fact, it's like a sign that he wears that bow tie. I'm a nerd. I'm an idiot, a little right-wing pansy nerd. He has a wife, but nevertheless. Yeah, they don't get it. The biggest faker on TV ever. Faker. Not, they just don't get it. Plus, I don't think that I think I did a pretty good job of covering most of the bases. Geraldo was a good choice. Geraldo's got a few votes. Right. So Geraldo's got 7. I'm going to tell you, Kevin Trudeau should have a lot more votes because in fact, a lot of you people, and I bought the book. I'll admit I was a sucker. I was in Walgreens there one day, and I saw the book at the counter. I thought, I'm going to buy this and see just how full of crap it was. And you know what? It was full of crap. My God. The stuff that he writes in it. Now, he does, I'll give him this. He appeals to our contempt for the FDA, for the medical profession, for the pharmaceutical manufacturers, and he makes some good points. So he throws in a few grains of truth in the middle of all his BS, his witchcraft. He's got miracle cures for asthma. There's a cure for cancer. There's a cure for, stupidity, But the people who are buying his book obviously haven't discovered that one yet. Don't buy that book. Don't buy anything from Kevin Trudeau. This is a convicted felon who's been in the slammer twice for fraud, including for using credit card numbers that people bought his crap with to buy, himself stuff. And he's got a multi-billion-dollar scam going, a pyramid scam. Speaking of that pyramid, yeah. And he's still on there. WQAM, hello. That's that line 1 again. Boy, I'd like to kill somebody. QAM, hello.
Hey, I think Lawrence Welk, he's still doing shows, but he's dead. He's faking.
A 1, a 2. He's doing a 2 or 3 shows. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. Hey, I've got some old names for you here. And by the way, thanks for telling me about that fresh-faced phony. I've been curious about that fool. You can't trust a face a lot of times.
Kevin Trudeau?
Yes, sir, whatever his name is.
Fresh face. Somebody ought to smack him in the puss. What a con artist, man. What a liar.
I can't stand the guy that looks one way, and in fact, he's the opposite.
Yeah.
But here's a good name for you, Neil. Remember that old Nipsey Russell?
Yeah.
The black guy, he was cool. And Orson Bean?
Yeah.
Just some names to toss around. I'm out of material.
Wait a minute. What about Bennett Cerf? Okay, he's gone. He couldn't handle it. What about George S. Kaufman? Who? Oh, Boca Brian is like, he's got his finger up his nose now, Boca, or somewhere, I guarantee. He's got his finger in the orifice. Oh, guess who's got a bad finger, by the way? Gus Farrat. And wouldn't that be a shame if Gus Farrat can't play on Sunday? Now, what girls' team are they playing on Sunday, Josh?
I don't know.
Your Miami Dolphins, or somebody's Miami Dolphins. Yeah, he's got the finger, and he probably hurt that. I know which finger it is, too. They said it's purple now. Maybe he just voted. It is Election Day today. I guarantee his wife's got a sore finger because she keeps flipping it at the media. She canceled the Sun-Sentinel because she got very, very upset about reading all those terrible things they're writing about Gus, even though they're true, honey, okay? I'm sure your husband's a wonderful guy and you love him very much and he never stole a freight train, all of these things, but nevertheless, he blows. Believe you me, he's bad. He's weak. Now, he came through for him a pretty reasonable performance, I guess, last week in defeat. But nevertheless.
By the way, they're playing the Browns.
Oh, they're going to lose that game. The Browns aren't all that bad. They both have a 3-6 record, but the Brownies aren't all that bad. They gave the Steelers a pretty good run on Sunday. Did you see any of that game?
I didn't see any of the game.
Well, I'm telling you, they played pretty well. They actually had a 7-0 lead early in that game. They couldn't stop the bus. In fact, we like to throw Kevin Trudeau under the bus and some of the other people on this list today. Yeah, this is a list of evil people, by the way. Everybody that's on this list is evil. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can I speak to Neil?
Speaking.
Neil, I was actually on a game show many years ago where your friend Bill Collins was the MC.
No, come on.
It was called Winning Streak.
Yeah.
And I had the misfortune of walking into the restroom while he was washing up. And I could confirm that the man either had no leg or a wooden leg.
Yeah, he had polio. He had a deformed leg, I guess.
But worse than that...
When he was washing up where his leg was supposed to be?
I don't know about that. But he had more potholes on his face than there are in the streets of Miami.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He was not a pretty guy. But he was good. He was personable, though. He was good on, he's just a natural.
He was a good guy, and he was a good game show host.
And did you lose?
The problem is I started playing another show, Jeopardy, and in the middle of the show, the producer came over to me and said, don't answer the questions by asking questions. But I won a little bit.
Well, that's good, because it sounds kind of like sour grapes to me when you start bitching about Bill Cullen's gimpy leg, you know.
Oh, no sour grapes.
What was the show he was on? Was it No, not Jackpot. That was Jeff Clark. The show with the family pair. Remember that? I hated that show where they had like the little green building blocks they had to connect with the family pair. I hated that. That was an awful show.
But I actually, many years later, was on a second show. I was on the High Rollers with Wink Martindale.
Oh, yes.
And I came back 3 times.
Now, let me ask you, did you actually have time to count Wink's teeth? Does he really have 172 teeth?
He had at least 172
yeah.
teeth. Not a pretty sight.
No, not at all. In fact, if you see his teeth on Bill Cullen's leg, man, that's enough to puke for the rest of your life. Have a great day, Pally. And stay off those game shows. He was probably out there auditioning for Wheel of Torture the other day in Hollywood. See, the thing of it is, people don't realize you can sit at home. I guess those puzzles, I told you one time I guessed a puzzle with no letters. It was Columbus, Ohio. Sure. I'm very good on geography ones.
Well, they're
in the world. But when you're under the lights there and you're under a lot of pressure and you're up on that stage, it's a whole different thing. You know, a lot of pressure, heavy pressure.
I would imagine.
You think. And then, of course, some of the people they pick are dumber than sawdust, and I think that's why they do it. They just want to, they pick certain people who are really stupid because they know they're going to be stupid, and they just say, hey, look at how much smarter you are than these stupid bastards we got on our panel today.
Yeah.
I'm serious. It makes the audience feel better about themselves.
Right.
446 votes. I wouldn't be surprised if we get near 500 by the top of the hour, which you know what that means, Josh. That means the race to 1,000. The race to 1,000 by 2.
And all those bonus dollars.
Oh, God, are we going to be rich. The biggest faker on TV, Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, 96. Dr. Phil, 79. Pat Robertson, 75. Benny Hinn, 61. Bill O'Reilly, 53. Jimmy Swagger, 24. Reverend DJ's Kennedy, 11. Janet Paul Crotch, 11. Geraldo Rivera, 9. Kevin Trudeau, 9. He should have 9,000. He should be in jail for like 50,000 years. Tim Russert, 8. Ron Popeil, 4. Ernest Ainsley, 3. And Richie Simmons, she's got 3.
This
hey, Richie.
is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
David's a bitch.
Absolutely.
Don't forget, speaking of that, the Momeister, the original Doister coming along at 2. Some people like oysters. We like the Doister. Or maybe we don't. 10:47 at QAM on a great Tuesday, boy. You can smell it. It's such a good day. Speaking of that, New Delhi. Remember that horrible story we had about the
Old Delhi?
The dowry?
Oh, yeah.
How they doused her with kerosene and set her on fire? Because they wouldn't come up with a good enough deal. A woman died in a Calcutta hospital after ants ate one of her eyes as she was recovering from a cornea operation, the report said today. Yeah, one of her eyes. Gauri Chakraborty, 55. Had complained of terrible pain after the operation at a state-run hospital, but a nurse told her it was normal and left her unattended. Her son, Sunman, told the Press Trust of India news agency. She complained of terrible pain, but the nurse said, "Should be your worst problem, honey," and she walked away. Nurse probably used to work at the Rascal House. He said that when her bandages removed the next day, they found big black ants nibbling at her eye. Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm never one for eating early in the day, but if I were, I sure wouldn't be now. I already ate my bacon. Oh. She died a ghastly death. We don't even know the reason of her death, said her son-in-law.
Probably ate into her
The local health minister demanded a reported incident from the hospital authorities. In response, hospital superintendent said a 5-member inquiry committee has been set up. And this should be your worst problem, honey, okay? Wow.
Like, that could never happen at Mount Sinai.
Oh, everybody dies when an ant eats their eyes. Oh, and speaking of that, guess who I saw? I meant to mention this yesterday. This is very important. On the Biography channel, I'll give you one guess.
Very good.
Well, the ganze Mishpacha. The Bee Gees. 2-hour special.
I was standing there one day, not thinking I would die.
I'm going to have to play that, because I don't think there's any fart sound in that, is there? No. Is there?
No.
We can play that.
Yes.
And I apologize for calling Morris Gibb Maurice, but to me he was always Maurice. I'm just not one of those into that Brit thing, but everybody called him Morris, and that's what he called himself. It's still Maurice. He'll always be Maurice to me.
Likewise.
And if he just would have put that burger down. Anyway, the Bee Gees thing was pretty interesting. And I'd almost forgotten how good-looking Andy Gibb was, but nevertheless. He couldn't sing at all, but he looked pretty good. He sang a little bit. Not too much. Anyway, somebody faxes the whole Bill Cullen thing. That'll be the end of this show. Uh-oh. Listen to that.
That's different.
That's the $10,000 pyramid, not to be confused with the $25,000 or $100,000 pyramid.
Oh!
Oh! Ooh, man. Did you hear that? I better stop that. My speaker is vibrating so much, I'm starting to get a little bit excited here. You hear the vibrations on that, baby?
I heard it. I felt
it. So, I don't know. I don't know if I remember that or not. The other one sounds more familiar to me.
That's not from that Ersatz disc that you have, is it?
No, there's nothing Ersatz about it. Well, let's see. Maybe there is. Let's see how the Match Game theme sounds on this disc, okay? Well, that was the original one. That's correct. As somebody you know would say. That's correct. And what about The Price is Right? This would be the old one, I'm sure. Yeah. I don't remember that at all. It's before my time. Although, in the just stop and think about this, okay? I was born. This is how old I am now. I was born before there was any television. I mean, it existed. It had been invented. Oh, I'll tell you what's the definitive. Oh yeah, this was the original one with Jack Clark was the announcer. Remember that? Yeah. And the host was that awful. What the hell was his name? He's the worst game host in America in history. Oh, please, you know who it was.
I'm thinking.
When they used to go shopping, they had that stupid Dalmatian. Don't you remember that?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Not Chuck Woolery.
That's the one, Chuck Swillery.
All right.
Very good. Excellent. Oh, and here's probably one of your favorites. Now, did you ever see the movie, the Chuck Barris movie?
Yeah. I saw both of them.
What is it?
I saw both of them, and but the one that you're asking about wasn't bad at all. I was surprised.
I thought it was very good.
All right.
And I also saw on Biography Channel the same story, but of course done more like true to fact. Although you really don't know what true is at all, because he's such a joker, such a kidder.
Like that Valerie Plame business taught us all. You just really don't know now, do you?
Yeah. You never know who might be in the CIA, eh? Maybe that little girl on the bus, maybe she's a CIA. Maybe she's kin to Valerie Plame, huh? Maybe she's plaming. Or maybe just...
Blaming.
So somebody sends in this, and this is not going to be an audience builder, but I don't care, because he was really good. Bill Cullen, and look, it can't hurt to learn something, okay? Maybe it might be important someday. Maybe you'll be on Jeopardy, and it's important to know who Wally McElmurray is, okay? Or Harold Fisher. Or Sandy Fisher. Bill Cullen, full name William Lawrence Cullen, was an American radio and TV personality best known for his role in game shows, both as host and panelist, which spanned 5 decades, both in radio and TV. He was born in Pittsburgh and survived a childhood bout with polio that left him with a limp for the rest of his life. See, in most of the later game shows, the set was designed in such a way that he came out from behind a curtain or off stage riding on something or off a turntable, so that he never had to walk any distance across the stage and advertise the fact that he was a gimp, had polio. Unlike the typical appearance-conscious TV personality, he also wore very thick glasses, which became kind of his trademark. Even George remembers that.
No.
You don't remember Bill Cullen?
No.
Oh, come on now. Cracker, please.
I don't.
I can understand Josh being the little whippersnapper that he is,
maybe if
but...
I saw him, you know, if I saw
Come on, Bill Cullen, you don't know. What about Betsy Palmer?
Who?
Betsy Palmer was in Friday the 13th, or one of those, Jason, whichever one she was in.
Was she the mom?
She was the real butch mom, yeah.
Well, then it was Friday the 13th, which is the one with Jason.
Very, very butch.
The first one.
Betsy Palmer, man, she's a lot butcher than some of the people I know. After moving to New York, he hosted several radio programs, including game shows in the 40s and 50s. His first TV game show, Winner Take All, Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production in CBS 52. Hosted the highly successful daytime and primetime versions of The Price is Right, set 56 to 65. Longtime panelist on 2 classics, I Got a Secret to Tell the Truth, with Bud Collier and Gary Moore. You don't even remember Gary Moore and Durwood Kirby, do you?
No, but I just Googled Bill Cullen. I recognize him now, but...
There you go. See, I knew it. I mean, don't give us this stuff like you're some young punk, okay? You're an old fart, too. You're getting old. You're gray. I'm gay. And you're gray. Cullen hosted 20 different game shows. Some of the shows on the long list include I Guess, 3 on a Match, The $25,000 Pyramid, Blockbuster, Child Play, Hot Potato, The Joker's Vial. His last game show in the 80s after Jack Berry. Did Jack Berry croak before or whatever? Jack Berry. Now, there is a bad game show host. Poor Jack Berry, who went to jail. No, he didn't go to jail, but somebody did for 21.
Since Rich is faxing right now and he's listening, I just want to get a message out to him, because Rich does a cover sheet for all of his faxes.
Yeah.
And there's a big old box where he can write his fax on the cover sheet instead of wasting 2 of our pages. Rich, just write your stuff on the cover sheet and cut the crap. He always does this. I try to fax him back.
Let's see. I've got a Secret to Tell the Truth, Match Game, and daytime versions of Pyramid that Dick Clark hosted. He was a celebrity guest on those shows. What made Cullen so beloved is that he made everything look easy. He could make the most complicated games seem simple, easy to learn. He also had a disarming, self-deprecating wit that told you he didn't take life very seriously. He often referred to himself as Uncle Bill, and his personality had a certain avuncular nature. He made everyone feel welcome and wanted. He was a very bright man, a pilot during WW2, long-time love of anything mechanical, a fanatical sports fan, did color commentary on college football early in his career. He once involved in broadcasting track and field NBC. Well, and I've got a secret, especially the producers learned early that if they wanted to keep the game going for a while, they'd never start with Bill if it was anything sports-related or mechanical because he knew it immediately. He was married 3 times. His first marriage was a brief one while still living in Pittsburgh. His second marriage was to singer Carol Ames from 1949 to 55. He was then married to former dancer and model Ann McCumber. I wonder if she was kin to Richard McCumber.
Well, I know some McCumbers here locally.
From 1955, really?
Yeah.
Dick McCumber, former fantastic driver at Pompano Park. How you doing, Dick? Good guy. A model, Ann McCumber, from 55 till his death in 1990 from... Here comes the part I want to get to, okay? All you kids out there, as Don Cherry would say. For lung cancer at the age of 70, he'd been a smoker all his adult life. It wasn't the polio that got him. He was able to gimp his way along with that and survive it. But the smoking, baby, the smoking, lung cancer. All you kids out there, stay away. Keep your distance from those faggots, okay? Throw them in a trash can. Man, when in doubt, toss them out. Now, let's see. What does this say? What about Marlon Perkins and Jim Fowler from each of Omaha's Wild Kingdom with their staged animal capture adventures? Whatever. Don't be picking on poor Marlon Perkins, right?
I love
his pancake house. Here's another fact. This is along the lines of Benny Hinn. How about Peter Popoff? I don't even know if we can say that.
Not anymore.
Ever see Peter Popoff?
Not lately.
Possibly even more evil than Hinn. Some hocus-pocus faith healer speaking in tongues, loads of laughs. Okay, let's put him on there. Peter Popoff. P-O-P-O-F-F, it says. I'm not sure that's not P-O-P-O-V, but nevertheless, then it make him a hockey player. Peter Popoff. I'm positive that Joyce will get real nervous about that. 10:57 at QAM.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Get me a ticket for an aeroplane. Got to get on the Wheel of Fortune game. I just got to win. Spin the wheel again. Oh, Vanna, pick me a letter. Bankrupt? What do you mean bankrupt? I don't care how much money I got to spend. Can't stand to look at Fat Say Jack again. Won't throw in the towel till I buy a vowel. Oh, Vanna, pick me a letter. Hey, man, what do you mean there's no F in phone? Vanna, pick me a letter. No one does it any better. I dream about you. Hey, Vanna, is that an all-over 10 or what? Vanna, I don't understand why you make $100 grand. Not for me to say. Anyway, get me a ticket for an aeroplane. Gonna be on the Wheel of Fortune game. I just got to win. Spin the wheel again. Oh, Vanna, pick me a letter. Go, Vanna! Go, baby, go! All right! Hey, get out of my face, Pat. Is that a toupee? Hey, is there an L in that word? Is it lowrider? All right, lowrider! Forget the letter, man. I'll take Vanna White. You're beautiful, baby. You and me could play the home game. Got me a ticket for an aeroplane. All right! I'm on the Wheel of Fortune game. I just love that sound. I'm in the bonus round. Hey, Vanna, pick me a letter. Lose a turn. Hey, Pat, lose this. Vanna, pick me a letter. No one does it any better. I dream about you. All right, that is an all-over 10. Vanna, I don't mean to stare, but are you wearing underwear? Not for me to say. Anyway, I don't care how much money I got to spend. Can't stand to look at Pat Say Jack again. Won't throw in the towel till I buy a vowel. Oh, Vanna, pick me a letter. Please, Vanna, pick me a letter. All right, I'm ready to pick, baby. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. That should cover it, huh? All right, I'll take the sofa, the blender, the microwave, the refrigerator. Hey, man, what do you mean $500 for a black and white 5-inch portable TV set? You got ripped off, man. My brother-in-law will get it for you wholesale. Give me the money and I'll buy the TV set, man, all right? Hey, man, come on, baby.
Well, the good news is there is a Peter Popoff Ministries. I did a Google search on it, and the first thing that came up was from a website called fraudalert.com. So I guess Peter Popoff Ministries sure qualifies for the poll today. He's already got a vote. And in that first hour, 536. Pretty overwhelming, if you ask me. Not bad. Now, last night, there was a chick that, big boobs, by the way, you'd have liked her, on Wheel of Fortune. Did you see it?
No.
Why not? What are you laughing about? How about you, Josh? Didn't watch Wheel last night?
Easy old women games.
Oh. At any rate, so she gets to the bonus round, and she wins. She gets the, she guesses the puzzle, whatever that. It was the Big Bash was the puzzle, Big Bash. And it was a, nice solve. And so Pat opens up the, he's got the thing that she picked out with whatever the prize is inside, and he looks at it real quick and says, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then he holds it up. It's $100 grand. $100 grand, which of course there's only one of those on that little wheel. 100, you know
right,
that.
Yes.
Because most of the time when they win cash, it's the bare bottom, 25 grand. But you want to throw that back, like catching a small fish. Just throw it back. 100 grand last night. You'd have been very proud. She was well endowed, and they might have even been real, but I doubt it. Beset with an unpopular war in American public, increasingly less trusting, President Bush faces the lowest approval rating of his presidency, according to that new poll yesterday. Every day there's another poll, baby. So many polls in so little time. That's what the Pope said. Bush also received his all-time worst marks in 3 other categories in the CNN USA Today Gallup poll. The categories were terrorism, trustworthiness, and whether the Iraq war was worthwhile. His 37% overall approval rating was 2 points below his ranking in October. Both, 60% of the American adults interviewed by phone Friday through Sunday said they disapprove of how he's handling his job as president. And we got 3 long, torturous years to go, speaking of torture and things like that. 3 years. I warn you, people, don't say I didn't tell you so. You can smell a fascist, you can smell a lunatic from a mile away. The stench of cow manure, as the Mad Dog would say, is emanating from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The White House says it doesn't pay attention to poll numbers, yada, 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 right. Bush also rated poorly in the new poll for his policy on terrorism. For the first time, less than half, only 48% of those surveyed said they approved of how he's handling the war on terror. Let's see, 60% said it wasn't worth going to war in Iraq, and 38% said it was worthwhile. When asked about his abilities, 49% of those surveyed said he was a strong president, 49% said he was a weak leader. About 50%, here comes the most important part of this poll, I love it. I wish they'd asked me. 50% of the people polled said they dislike Bush, while 6% claimed they hate him. They don't just dislike him, they hate him like poison. When asked in the new poll if they trust Bush more than they had trusted Bill Clinton, 48% of the respondents said they trusted Bush less, 36% said they trusted him more, and 15% said men's the same. So how do you like that? 48% said they trusted Bubba more, which that should have been a lot higher than that. In the poll, 56% of registered voters said they would be likely to vote against the local candidate supported by Bush. Only 9% said the first choice in the next year's election would be a Republican who supports Bush on almost every major issue. How do you like that? 46% said the country would be better off if Congress controlled by Democrats, 34% by the Republicans. And then the rest of them said, a plague on all of them, they should all rot in hell with FP&L. Speaking of the eroding support even from his own people now, this is a good story. Well, better late than ever, I guess, before we get to 3,000. In a sign of increasing unease among congressional Republicans over the war in Iraq, the Senate's considering today a Republican proposal that calls for Iraqi forces to take the lead in next year in securing the nation for the Bush administration to lay out its strategy for ending the war. When in doubt, get the hell out. See that? They're talking about that right now. Boy, am I psychic? Well, there's Joe Biden. He's Biden this time.
People in droves are leaving this, not just because Americans are dying as tragic it is, because they don't think they have a plan. What I think all Democrats and Republicans have finally decided to do is tell us the plan, Stan. Tell us, Mr. President, what's the plan? It's the first time this is happening.
Tell us the plan, Stan. Sounds like a great line for a song. The Senate's also scheduled to vote today on a compromise announced last night that would allow terror detainees some access to federal courts. The Senate had voted last week to prohibit these being held from challenging their detentions in federal court, despite a Supreme Court ruling to the contrary. But now the worm is turning, baby. They had those elections last week in Jersey and Virginia and in California with Arnold and all that stuff going on. And now they're saying, oh, well, what was us? What was us? We better run as far away from this guy and Henry Hyde, you know? Run far away. Okay, let's get a whole bunch of calls in today because I think Bill Cullen probably opened up a real Pandora's box. 5670560. What the hell was that show with the little green nuggets on there? What was that? Awful. Was it Blockbuster?
I don't know. Little green nuggets sounds leprechaun-y.
No, it was like, I think it was called Buster's Blockbuster. No, it wasn't that. That was not it. Oh, here's your favorite.
Pretty punchy. This would make a good show open for something.
What?
That would make a good show open for something.
Oh, these are all... Let's do game shows again. Not that anybody watches them, but... Oh, here's the Joker's Vial with Jack Berry. Yeah, that was it. Remember that?
Yeah.
Joker! 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 Oh, he was just awful. He was embarrassing. I felt bad for him. One of the very few people I've ever seen on television that just wanted to crawl under the couch and just hide. Oh, Jack, you're so bad. And now, who's faxing us this crap, okay? I mean, it was nice that we got the Bill Cullen one. We don't want to do all the game show hosts, okay? Tom Kennedy, who's still alive, I believe. He's now retired. And he was, born James Fay Nars. Fay! I wonder if he was kin to Fay Wayne.
Or Fay Ray?
James Fay Nars, and of course he was brother of Jack Nars, another game show host, changed his name to avoid confusion. Well, we don't care about Tom Kennedy. He was okay. He was on, what was he on? He was on Name That Tune, right?
All right.
And then in Cemetery Village they have the sequels called Name That Prune. And then they got that one in Liberty City called, let's see, also he was on Password Plus, Split Second. He was on a whole bunch of stuff. And then it talks about Alan Ludden. Hey, Alan.
You fairy.
Did I ever tell you about Alan Ludden and working with Bill Calder in Boston?
No.
Alan Ludden was married to Betty White, who was obviously a beard. Remember Alan Ludden?
Yeah.
Real pseudo-intellectual. You should have liked him a lot. He was on the GE College Quiz Bowl and Password.
Pseudo-intellectual doesn't mean everything that's over your head.
The guy that took him... No, it wasn't over my head. I had all the answers. But anyway, Password was... that was okay. Too much Betty White. 5670560. Everybody loves Bill Cullen, even if they don't know who the hell he was. But like I said, lung cancer is 70. Put the pieces of the puzzle together, okay? Take those camels and throw them down the toilet, okay? Flush them. Save the pot and toss the faggots. WQAM, hello.
Mo loves the cock.
Down the pot.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Pretty good.
The biggest fakers.
Oh, it's a chronic. It's chronic. Chronic time. Go ahead.
The biggest fakers in the history of humanity are the popes.
Okay, great, but that has nothing to do with our poll. 5670560. He's a good guy, but I'm just, he just looks for an excuse to call, and that's got nothing at all. First of all, the Pope isn't on TV except when they show him with his beady eyes and all those Getchkis there, and
evil.
St. Peter's Square. He's evil, but he's not for the poll, okay? You don't have no TV show yet. WQAM, hello.
Neil?
Yes, sir.
That was Blockbuster.
Was that with the little green rocks?
Yeah, that's it. Blockbuster. I used to watch that. That was
Terrible
good.
show with a family pair, right?
Yeah, couple.
Yeah, that's why Tom Green couldn't host the show. They had to have the family pair.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Well, look, that was a confirmation that I had the right information. I wonder if I have the theme for that. What was it called?
Blockbuster?
Oh, I got it. I'll be damned, man. I'll be hot damn, as they say. As Joyce would have us say, hot dang. No, she wouldn't say hot damn. Hot dang.
Dang.
Hey, we hate you, Joyce. We want something really horrible and evil, and we're very sorry that you survived Wilma. Just wait till the next big hurricane comes. We're going to have Pat Robertson put a spell on it and stick it right, where the moon don't shine. I don't remember this at all. I just remember the show. Oh, I don't like that.
I wonder what that guitar went out of that. I don't remember this at all.
No. Now, what about High Rollers? Who was on High Rollers? That was Alex Trebek, wasn't it? Your boy.
I wouldn't know.
Huh?
Pop in there.
High Rollers with Alex Trebek.
Don't recall.
What else was he on? He was on, I think he was on Concentration, on like the last, when they brought it back for the 85th time.
Possibly.
Hugh Downs and then Art James and then Alex Trebek. He's a good Canadian boy, Alex Trebek. Real pseudo intellectual. Takes himself much too seriously. The answer is, that was Art James. No, not Art James. Who was the first host? We've been through this a million times before, and I can never think of his name. The real boring guy that was on
you
Jeopardy.
have to narrow it down.
No, the first host of Jeopardy for about 100 years. When you get with it, long before there was Alex Trebek, was Don Knotts. Don No. What is Don No? Anyway, huh? Do a Google on it, Jeopardy. And you'll be embarrassed that you don't know the name. You'll be shocked.
Well, I didn't watch it in that
Google it.
age.
Google it.
Jeoparding it.
Jeopardy. Really boring guy. Very, very dry. He was perfect for that show. Very dry, very pasty looking. Really, no personality whatsoever. You know, kind of like the show. No personality.
Art Fleming.
Art Fleming. Very good. Excellent job. Art Fleming. Good. I don't have that bell. Do I have the bell? You've always got the bell.
One?
Oh. That's the only...
the fight bell.
That's the only... What was that under? What is that under?
The prize bell?
Yeah.
Prize bell?
Prize bell? I don't got no prize. Or is it just under prize bell, not under sound effects?
I don't know.
I got prices at the pump. I don't got no prize bell, mister.
I think this is the one that's in the can here that came in with the machine.
It came with a machine? Oh, and I know it's a good machine.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Look at that, more tornadoes there in the Midwest. God is really waxing, his wrath is waxing hot, and he is just unleashing a torrent of hurricanes and tornadoes and tsunamis and all kinds of crap, mudslides, flooding, all sorts of things. When are you people going to get the message already, huh? God is foaming at the mouth about Bush. You think it's just them people in Latin America and Hugo Chavez, man. It's not just them. Everybody in the world is just really upset, and God is trying to send a message. Of course, in fact, he's probably going to have the Bee Gees singing, "Gotta get a message to you." I'll tell you, the Bee Gees were great. I don't care what anybody says.
I love them.
You know, and it's one of those things. Remember we did the poll about artists that you like but you're embarrassed to admit, and they did well. They were on that poll. Just because they weren't so macho and because Barry did that falsetto high voice, but they were great. And not a single one of them was gay. How do you like that? But, boy, I tell you, if you go out there and ask John Q. Public, the Bee Gees, they're a bunch of faggot, like that, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, all that music was great. Nights on Broadway, if that wasn't the greatest song of all time.
You'd be surprised the macho guys that are okay with the Bee Gees.
Like Josh. Does Josh like the Bee Gees?
I do.
Well, thank God for that. Got to get a message to you. There it is. I want to hear Little Nights in Broadway, although I'm way past on the break, but I don't care. We'll get all the spots in. That's all we care about.
How is it?
Well, you don't have Nights on Broadway? I got to go out and buy Bee Gees today. I have it there somewhere, but not here.
How can this not be here?
It's not there, Nights on Broadway? Boy, Muff really let you down.
Again.
That's what Condoleezza was singing this weekend. Got to get a message to you.
I love that song.
Yeah, I do too. Anyway, it's 11:15. We're way past break time, and if your hair is on the floor or down the shower drain or down the sink, here's the answer. Get yourself a great-looking head of hair at a very reasonable price from my good buddy Chuck Alfieri. Not a mousy-looking muskrat on your head, not a bunch of dangerous pills that'll really piss you off when you take them and risk your health and then find you don't even grow one follicle back. We're talking about a great-looking head of hair called the Natural Hairline System. For no amount of money can you get a better-looking piece, which is why even the famous and rich guys have gone to Charlie for over 30 years now to make sure they look their best. I'm sure that Donald Trump don't go there. You can bet your life on that. And Charlie's new skin-like hair system is 100% undetectable. Looks like real hair growing out of your scalp as opposed to all the alternatives, which are grotesque and have people falling on the floor laughing their ass off at you. And you have nothing to risk at all. You have nothing to lose but the bald spot because you tried Charlie's system for 30 days.
About 30, man.
And after a month, if you don't love the way it looks and feels and smells, if you're not getting action 70, 80, 90, 100 times a day, return it for a full refund. Make the call today. Tell Charlie you heard about it here on the Neil Rogers Show and get a QM $200 discount off the regular $800 price of that fantastic-looking natural hairline system. And like I always tell you, you'll look better and younger than you ever dreamed you could have gained. Call toll-free today, 1-800-321-2413. 1-800-321-2413. On the World Wide Web, it's charlesalfieri.com. If you can't spell it, call up Troy.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Shut up, Katie, do not shout, 'cause the baby's coming out. We must not imprint its tiny brain with noises that will drive it insane. And you must go through labor without any drugs, only hugs. You must give birth in silence. So, dear Katie, do not scream. You'll give the baby scary dreams.
Oh, my God.
You're married to a Scientologist, so you don't need a gynecologist. L. Ron Hubbard said, maintain silence in the presence of birth. What a jerk. No man would give birth in silence.
Too bad the Beatles never met L. Ron Hubbard, you know. 21 after 11 at 560 WQM. We got 592 votes. We're going to have 600 in about a heartbeat, you know. And we got a shot today. We got a shot at the greatness. We really do have a shot. Uh-oh. There's an old guy that Josh knows, Bob Barker. Right?
Right. He'd say yes if he was in the room.
It's his, I beg your pardon?
He'd say yes if he was in the room. Oh, there he comes back.
Yeah, he knows Bob Barker.
They
He
stole
was probably
our
just out
Tony's
watching
logo.
Little Price is Right. I wouldn't be surprised if that's on right now, isn't it? Is this the time for the Price is Right, I believe? Huh?
Price is Right is always
You
on.
are the winner, and you will be in the showcase at the end of the show. Lots more fun after this announcement.
All right, Bob. Nice hair, by the way. Look at that white hair. I think he's going to die during the taping of one of these shows, don't you?
By the way, did
He's
you
probably-
ask me if I knew who Bob Barker was?
I was just, of course you know who Bob Barker is. I said, I'm sure that Josh knows Bob Barker,
Oh, okay.
is what I said. I'm sure you recognize that. Oh, I bet you don't know Johnny Olson. I would say you're more from the Rod Roddy era. Hey, Rod.
You fair.
That's okay, he's dead.
Okay.
5670560. I have no idea what we're talking about today. I thought we were talking about the biggest fakers on TV, which we are. That's our poll question. And then all of a sudden, we got into this Bill Cullen thing. Where did that come from?
I don't know. From Uranus.
It might be. I know he was out of this world. That's what they all said. He was no Arlene Francis, but he was pretty good. He was no Dorothy Kilgallen. He was no Soupy Sales. Although you like Soupy Sales, and so do I.
Yeah, what's wrong with
Now,
that?
when the hell did you see Soupy Sales?
On game shows, on panels and stuff.
But you never saw his show, though.
No, no.
Oh, his show was really great. It was a hoot. It was really fine. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
I just want the story behind what happened to George with his suspension, man. I've been out a couple days. I missed it. I wonder if he, took somebody else's pizza or something.
That's what happened.
Oh, God. One thing about this crowd, man, you give them a little pizza, you give them a slice or two, and they run with it. You know what I mean? They run. I didn't steal no pizza, okay? WQAM, hello.
Okay, the biggest faker on TV.
Yes.
Kevin Trudeau.
Yeah, he's on there, and he ought to have 1,000 votes. He's got only 14. That's because they don't know who he is.
Mr. King to your world by giving you...
Right. Maybe he can get you a new cell phone, too. Maybe he can get some better help for your cell phone. Oh, here come the Leafs. Look at that.
He's checked by Potma. Now Turnbull clears it ahead to McDonald. McDonald McDonald wins it!
By the way, that's Dan Kelly, and he's still dead. Just amazing. You see, that's the one good thing. Even though you're getting close to the big box in the ground, as you get older, there's so much more you know. And, of course, the punks like Josh think, well, who wants to know that anyway? Believe me, you want to know it. You feel left out.
Oh, do I?
No. That's just a little. No, you don't.
You're right.
Look at all the great things you got to look forward to. WW3, all that good stuff. In fact, wait till like 40-year-old guys are going to get drafted. Oh, speaking of winking, naked, and nodding. Oh, I don't like that theme.
A little bit dated. What does this record sound like on the right speed? Oh, that's much better. They just don't have guitar like this anymore. I want to know why.
Well, there was a fun show. I don't care what anybody says, and we can go through the whole Richard Dawson thing and talk about his ego and the fact that he got tossed off the show because he was a jackass and a drunk. But nevertheless...
By the way, because I was thinking about, because I don't like to watch the reruns of game shows.
Oh, look at this. Here somebody sent us a thing about Ray Combs. See, just before I picked this up, I was talking about Richard Dawson and I played the Family Feud thing. How do you like that? Didn't I play Family Feud or not? No, I played Match Game. I was going to play Family Feud. Yeah.
The thing about Match Game is that it was a comedy show where they were just coming up with comedy lines, and that was the idea. So it's funny, and it's always funny, and it's
well, wouldn't it have to be a comedy show when you got people like Nipsey Russell and Charles Nelson Riley and Brett Summers? Boy, I hated her. I don't know about you.
No, I didn't.
And that's why Jack Klugman sounds like that today. I don't think he had no lung cancer. I think just from screaming at that bitch. That's why he sounds like that today, Jack Klugman. And isn't it strange? Wouldn't you have thought that he would have gone first and not Tony Randall?
I would have.
I think Tony probably bit the bullet because of making all them babies, When you get to be 70 and you exert all your energy making a lot of babies, you meet your maker. Ray Combs, poor Ray. I thought he was pretty good, but he wanted to be another Johnny Carson. That was the whole deal. Isn't that what we always read?
I guess. I didn't read it.
Audiences initially accepted his performance on Family Feud, despite the inevitable comparison to longtime host Richard Dawson. By 93, however, the show's ratings were declining. I see. Jonathan Goodson, who became a chairman of Mark Goodson Productions after his father's death a year earlier, made the decision to replace Combs with the man he replaced, Richard Dawson. Oh, I see. A very unhappy, visibly crying Combs walked out of the CBS studios before the end of his last episode in '94, where the winning family got 77 points in fast money. Why did they put... who cares about that?
That's important.
Combs' dismissal from Feud was one of the many events that ultimately led to his suicide by hanging. I thought he shot himself. See, we're learning something every day. 96, he hanged himself. An auto accident in '94 nearly paralyzed him. He went through financial problems after a comedy club he owned in Cincinnati went bust. He also separated from his longtime wife, with whom he had 14 children.
Get out.
14 children. I didn't know he was an Orthodox Jew or a Muslim.
God, or a Catholic.
Or a good Catholic, a really good Catholic. Several attempts to make it back into TV, most notably as host of the cable game show Family Challenge, all failed. He checked into the psychiatric ward, underwent a series of shock therapy. Oh, my God, just like Jack Nicholson. At a Glendale, California hospital, and hanged himself in the broom closet with bedsheets on his wife's 40th birthday. He was discovered after a horrible smell was detected by staff members. He was only 40 years old and a member of the Seventh-day Adventists. Now that kind of like puts a label on it.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560
Maybe they were feeding him traits.
You can unwrap all the slime all the time.
Congratulations. Get a life.
As Gabrielle Solis, she keeps the neighbors talking on Wisteria Lane. But it's actress Eva Longoria who has the whole country talking. And when she wanted to tell her story, she talked to us.
I want sex.
Has sex always been something that you have...
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you handle a gardener?
Hello! Yes, I could like a team of gardeners.
A team of gardeners?
6.
You have made some surprisingly candid remarks lately about sex.
Have I?
Coming up.
I love sex.
Racy.
Yeah, you name it, I've done it.
When Dateline continues.
Now, would that include, like, Ava Gardner? Or how about Earl Stanley Gardner?
Oh.
It's 11:30. Perry Mason, baby. Who do you think wrote Perry Mason? Earl Stanley Gardner. You know, your lack of knowledge about important stuff.
I know.
You know, all that history and religion and stuff that you think is important. You better get with more practical crap.
I know.
Like that Raymond Burr was gay. That's important.
Well, if they taught a college class on it, you know, I might take
On
it.
what? On the Raymond Burr being gay. And they probably have a little Tab Hunter info in there, too, and Tony Perkins. You can probably go to Perkins Pancake House, and that's the talk of the town. We got over 600 votes, boys and girls, on this poll today. That is shocking news, isn't it?
Okay.
Even Josh, who's very difficult to move off the dime, because he's tired, you know?
I am moved.
600. Oh, again? Yeah, Josh is moving again this week, by the way. Must have a lot of bill collectors chasing your ass around, boy. I've never seen anybody move so many times. You got a perfect start for radio, boy. This is the way to the radio gypsies.
Hey, man,
you got to move. Nickel.
Gotta
Steve
move every
Nickel,
year.
is he not the definitive radio gypsy?
Amen.
That's his theme song, I Get Around. It is, as opposed to Fat Boy, whose theme song is I Get Round.
White-collar migrant labor.
636 votes on the poll. The biggest fakers on TV ever, Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, 124. I should have played little Tammy Faye. What's that bit? Jimmy is, whatever that is?
The media is sick and needs help badly.
You know the one I mean. I'll get to it. And also impacted fart. Dr. Phil, 114. Pat Robertson, 114. Same guy, different smile. Benny Hinn, 88. Bill O'Reilly, 79. Jimmy Swagger, 31. Geraldo Rivera, 21. Jan and Paul Crotch, 8 to 16. Kevin Trudeau, only 14. If you knew who he was, you'd be back on your computer. You'd be squeezing it. You'd be hitting it with a ball-peen hammer. You'd be going crazy. Kevin Trudeau belongs behind bars. Reverend D.J. Kennedy, 21. 12. He ought to be in there too. Tim Russert, 8. Phony. Richard Simmons, 6. Let's have a deal-a-meal. Come on, everybody, deal-a-meal. Deal the cards. Do some sweating. Sweat to the oldies.
You're gay.
Yeah. Ernest Ainsley, 4. Ron Popeil, 4. And Peter Popoff has only got 1. Peter Popovich. Peter Popoff. What a name. The Peter Popoff Ministries, he's got that magic water. So hold your water, or at least your otter. GOP governor's race tight. Harris trails Bill Nelson in the Senate bid by about 7,000 points. Attorney General Charlie Crist and Chief Financial Officer Tom Gallagher remain deadlocked in their bid for Republican nomination for governor, while U.S. Representative Katherine Harris is far behind incumbent Democrat Bill Nelson in the U.S. Senate race. A new poll shows just out only moments ago. Bill Nelson gets 55% against 31% for Katherine. Let's fix the election, Harris. That's not even close enough for her to fix, you know what?
No.
Harris, however, was favored by 46% in the primary race against U.S. Representative Mark Foley. There's a lot of queens running this races in Florida. How do you like that next year? Mark, Miss Foley, and Miss Crist. How do you like that? She has 46% and Mark Foley 29%, so that's good news. Foley, however, would fare better, about the same against Bill Nelson. So that's really good because it looks like they'll pick her to run against Bill Nelson, and it'll be a shoo-in for old Billy Boy, who's kind of weak, if you ask me. He ain't no Bobby Graham. Foley briefly sought the Republican nomination presented last year before dropping out for personal reasons. And hasn't said whether he'll challenge Harris in the primary. Who are you kidding, Mark? Come out, sweetheart, will you, before it's too late? Jesus, are you kidding anybody or what? Nelson was elected, and we know that. The survey raised the possibility of a close 2006 governor's race. What? U.S. Representative Jim Davis of Tampa, Governor. Jim Davis of Tampa, who led State Senator Rod Smith among Democratic voters for the party's nomination, was in a statistical tie with the two Republican gubernatorial hopefuls. Davis was supported by 25% Democrats, 15% for Smith. However, don't know, still they don't know who they are. 56% Democrats said who are they. There we go, okay. So that's what's going on there. We're getting ready for next year, man. We're going to throw all the Nazis out. When in doubt, toss their ass out. Oh, speaking of Nazis,
as you know,
hecklers interrupt Cheney's speech at University of Tennessee.
At the groundbreaking ceremony for Howard Baker, the Center for Public Policy, which is being built there. And as you know, Howard Baker was a former U.S. Senator and ambassador to Japan. Well,
isn't that great news? Hecklers messing up with Cheney's speech. Tough luck, Dick. Here's Doug Thompson. You know, he's got that rant he writes every day. Just told me yesterday he had Bush in hell, which is a good place for him. Although we don't want to disturb all the other people down there. Doug Thompson, publisher of Capitol Hill Blue, writes, Bush runs but can't hide from failures. Boy, he's just writing every day more scathing and scathing.
Good.
I take tremendous sexual excitement in reading these on the air, to be honest with you, because it's long overdue. That somebody take the gloves off and cut the crap already, okay? How is it that people were so blind? Maybe they were like, I don't know what they were doing. They were like looking the other way. They're always looking the other way. They're worried about important stuff like Survivor, Ypsilanti, stuff like that. Survivor Chattanooga. Crap. That's the American specialty is crap, and that's why we got what we got now. But even the people obsessed with crap, like the God Squad, even they're starting to say, well, wait a second here. We got some real problems with this goofball. Doug Thompson writes, as President Bush jets off to Asia, he flees a country bitterly divided by his policies and a Republican Party in open revolt over his many failures. The mood in both the White House and the nation harkens back to the days of Lyndon Johnson and Richard M. Nixon, says retired political science professor George Harley, who served in the Nixon administration. Nixon was able to fly to China, and for a while, various problems with diplomatic triumphs. Nixon, like Bush, was a flawed president. Unlike Bush, Nixon had diplomatic skills. Bush leaves behind a nation in turmoil, ripped apart by an unpopular war in Iraq, and increasingly distrustful of the leader who sent Americans to die there. His use of Veterans Day to attack opponents of his war has angered and further alienated veterans groups, another political misstep by an administration marred by frequent and escalating screw-ups. The president resorted to his old playbook of discredited rhetoric about the war on terror and political attacks as his own political fortunes and credibility diminished, had said a minority leader, the wimpy Harry Reid, no relation to Greg. With polls showing 57% of the American people believing Bush lied to lead this country into war in Iraq. And now can I interrupt this at that point?
Go ahead.
If 57% of the public believes that he lied to get us in this war and we got almost 2,100 dead Americans, why are there not impeachment hearings going on right now?
Shut up, commie. Why do you hate America?
Republican political strategists now tell their candidates to avoid any association with the president and to moderate their views away from the extreme right-wing positions of the GOP. Oh, they're finally starting to catch on to that, okay? The president has gone too far and the party has gone too far, says Harley. Those who return to the center might stand a chance in next year's midterm elections. Those who stick with the president in the far right do not. No chance. Not a zippity-doo-dah. Even notorious conservatives like Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum, chairman of the Senate Republican Conference, are avoiding appearances with Bush. Santorum cited scheduling conflicts that kept him from appearing with Bush during the president's Veterans Day attack on Iraqi war critics. But Santorum also told radio talk show host, talk shock jock, Don Imus, it's shocking that a dead man can be on the air, told Don Imus that he doesn't intend to appear with the president for the time being. He's keeping his distance. Shock jock, shock my ass. Santorum needs a degree of separation to establish independence from the president, so voters believe he represents their interests, says Terry Madonna, political analyst and pollster at Franklin Marshall College in Pennsylvania. Republicans like him have every reason to be concerned, and they are. They are. Republican J.D. Hayworth of Arizona says he won't campaign with Bush. When asked if he wanted the president to come to his district, he said, in a word, no, not at this time.
No.
In a word?
In a word. Hayworth also says that he won't use the president in any campaign ads. Other Republicans admit Bush is dragging the party down. Bush is in a funk, says former Senate Majority Leader Bob Dole. Maybe he's one of the Funk brothers. He's about to hit rock bottom, and the party is down there with him, says old Bob Dole. But others say the president's fall can continue, and with it the fortunes of the GOP. A last-minute visit to Virginia to stump a Republican. Oh, if only Bill Cullen would have been there to stump for him.
Right.
To stump for Republican gubernatorial candidate Jerry Kilgore said is one of the reasons Kilgore lost the race he had in the bag weeks earlier, and the losing GOP candidate in New Jersey blames the president's unpopularity for his loss. If Bush's numbers were where they were a year ago, even 6 months ago, I think we would have won, Doug Forster said after losing Democrat John Corzine. Other Republicans mired in scandal face tough election battles next year. Senate Majority Leader Bill Fist, caught up in an insider stock investigation, would lose if the election were held today, a poll shows. Bush is trying to turn the tide by launching a new series of attacks on his opponents, a well-worn strategy often used by Chief Political Advisor Karl Rove to rescue his president in times of crisis. But backlash against the Veterans Day speech suggests the public isn't buying that act this time around. The public has heard all this before, and it isn't selling this time around, says political scientist Harley. With apologies to Meredith Wilson, the Republicans got trouble. That starts with T and rhymes with B, and that stands for Bush. How do you like that? Isn't that cute? Starts with T, rhymes with B, and rhymes with Bush, and smells Bullschmidt. 659 votes. We're going to have about 700 votes by the top of the noon hour, and you know something? We are really rolling it, you know, and pretty soon you start smoking it, and then Joel can, jump right out the window.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Only in the Banana Republic, baby. Only in Miami.
I was working in the White House late one night when my ears heard something that wasn't right. Dick Cheney, Karl Rove, and that Scooter guy revealed the name of a CIA spy. It was a leak. It was a monster leak. A monster leak. Now they're all up the creek. It was a leak. Indictments coming this week. It was a leak. It was a monster leak. The Democrats are having fun. Monster leak. The investigation has just begun. Monster leak. The suspects include the entire Bush administration. It was a leak. It was a monster leak. A monster leak. George Bush is starting to freak. Because of the leak. Things are looking pretty bleak. Because of the leak. Because of the monster leak.
Oh, the 11th Amendment calling for withdrawal from Iraq was just defeated on a Senate floor 58-40. How do you like that? They just showed Carl Levin screaming and gesticulating and gesturing and got those bifocals down on the edge of his nose, you know?
Yeah.
I said bifocals. Don't get panicky.
I'm not.
Here's a little more on that girl shooting stuff. A 17-year-old girl shot another teenage girl this morning on a charter school bus in Miramar. The victim's injuries, thanks God, are not life-threatening.
Mm-hmm.
The two girls got into an argument yesterday, according to police, and the argument continued this morning after both girls got on the school bus. The bus was on its way to Parkway Academy Charter School around 7:45 this morning. The bus picked up the suspect first, then the victim, and the argument continued. In the 3700 block of Woodscape Drive near County Line Road, the suspect pulled out a small handgun and, bada bing, hitting the victim in the upper torso. The victim was rushed to Memorial Regional Hospital in Pembroke Pines. Isn't that where you took me that time?
I think it might be.
Yeah, where I had my vet had a little run-in with the wall there that time. I had a little bunk on the head.
Mm-hmm.
The suspect ran away. Her home, located at such and such in Miramar, is now surrounded by police and a SWAT team. Students who witnessed the shooting said the victim joined in with the other girls yesterday in making fun of the shooter's hair on the school bus as it took them home. You don't be messing with my hair, baby. I'll tell you that right now. A physical fight broke out between the two girls, continued into the hood. Today, student witnesses said the shooter, who had a black eye, got on the bus, went up to the other girl, bada bang, and then got off the bus. Two girls in the area are also in the lockdown as a precaution. They are Annabelle C. Perry Elementary and Henry D. Perry Middle School at 3400 Wildcat Way. Parkway Academy is still open, but parents allowed to take their children home. How do you like that, huh?
Yeah.
Make fun of my hair? Don't be doing that no more, you idiot. You quisling.
You fairy.
Right. 5, 6, so anyway, I got a pretty impacted fart, and it's interesting how different hosts have a different effect on certain shows. Now, this was a really good show. If you don't like Card Sharks, there's something, as game shows go.
Yeah,
you ever saw Card Sharks?
I saw it. I never played along. You know what I mean? It just
Why
saw
not?
it in passing. Well, it was one
Get
of those
out of
things.
here.
I just saw it in passing.
Anyway, the first host on Card Sharks was Jim Perry. At least I believe he was first, and he was very good. He was excellent. He was the definitive host. And then the second host was the unctuous with a stiff collar neck Bob Eubanks. When I see Bob Eubanks, I want to go on my hands and knees crawling into the bowl and puke my guts out. Bob Eubanks gives me spilkies. He makes butterflies crawl all over my body. Can't stand him. And conversely, Wheel of Fortune, which actually I don't know if it ever went off the air or not, but when Chuck Swillery was on, they used to go shopping, and they had the little ceramic Dalmatian and all that stupid crap. The show was garbage. And I don't think it was ever really a major hit when he was on there. And then all of a sudden in came low-key Pat Sajak, who, him and Vanna, between the two of them, is not nothing special there. It's, with her flat chest and everything. But the fact of the matter is, it's a hit. And I like it. And they're perfect for the show. That's not a show that requires a lot of, dynamic personality, somebody like Messi, Yeah. Pat's big thing at the show is the end of the show when time runs out, he gives the wheel one last spin, and more often than not, because I think he's got a brake he steps on, it lands at $5,000, and we'll add $1,000 to that. $6,000 a letter! And you're saying, holy crap! You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
I don't know. You don't even watch that show, do you?
No.
Well, why not? Everybody watches
No.
Wheel of Fortune.
Housewives, man.
Get out of here.
I
bet you Josh has seen it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's fine.
Housewives. See, there he goes again with that crap. Not a damn... See? Nothing wrong with that show.
I didn't say that. It's just not for me.
Oh, look, Jeopardy's not for me. I didn't say that anything wrong with you watching it just because it's a show for pseudo-intellectuals. It's fine.
Because you don't know any of the questions.
I have no problem. I know nothing. I don't want to answer a question with a question, okay?
See, I don't
want to answer a question with a question.
I don't want to wait.
I got news for you,
man.
I got the puzzles on Wheel of Fortune before she even turns the first letter. That's the
point. That's the point.
That's right.
It's really easy. It's not.
No, it is not easy.
All. It's not.
It's not easy.
At all.
When the answer to the puzzle is Ishpeming, Michigan, how many people know that?
Hasn't challenged me since I was a child.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
I got a message for all the guys in the audience. Body wash is for fags.
You fairy. Yeah, right. It's really sad. We got to teach these people how to body wash it and where to smear their Neutrogena and what kind of poof to buy out there. It's just very sad. The loofah is just mine is loofah, not loofah. I don't know where you come up with that loofah crap. Mine is loofah.
Because loofah is a play on the word loofah.
Well, I don't care what it is. I mean, have you ever heard anybody say "Go loofah go" at the hockey game? No, but they say "Go loofah go." The Italians here, they say "Go loofah go." WQAM, hello.
I've fallen and I can't reach my butt bead.
WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Even Charlie Babbitt watches Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, great. I don't know. Whoever he is, I have no idea. Charlie Van Dyke or somebody like that, or some dyke. Who the hell knows and who cares? Everybody watches Wheel of Fortune. You guys out there, you know it, I know it's a good show. And a lot of guys that watch it just for Vanna, which shows they're really desperate, but nevertheless.
I used to.
She's okay, but if you were to tell me that she's hot.
No,
the chick that won $100 grand last night, she was hot. She made Vanna look like
she's pretty,
Camilla Parker Holes.
Much ado about nothing.
Who?
Vanna.
Right, that's what I'm saying. She's certainly not hot. 708 votes, I must be reading that wrong. I must need some new Magnavision reading glasses. 708, and it's not even noon yet? What the hell is going on here? Maybe the post-Wilma blues are over with now. And of course, that's a disadvantage. Like Tommy says, I'm out of touch. Thank God. I don't want to be in touch with that place. So are things kind of like coming back to normal? And the reason I ask that is because I got a story here that says 400 out-of-sync signals have Broward drivers fuming at lengthy red lights.
Yeah.
How do you like that? They're out of sync.
The light thing is still a problem.
Your body wash, that's okay in the sink or on the ledge, but this is out of sync. You guys that are still using soap, I'm going to tell you, I don't want to knock you. Do whatever you want, like we said before. Watch whatever shows you like. Listen to whatever you like. Stick your finger wherever you like. But the fact of the matter is, using soap is passé. And especially in Florida where all the beautiful beaches, or at least they used to be anyway, don't go to the beach with a two-piece bathing suit, guys. It's a little on, and they wear them like with the... You know what they used to look like?
Yeah, with the stripes. And
they have the stripes like a prison outfit on them. You see them in the silent movies. It's ridiculous.
And they were made of wool.
Were they really?
Yeah, they were. There was a documentary on it.
Well, what about Shab Woolley?
Not on the suits, but just swimming, recreational swimming in general.
They were made out of wool?
Yeah. Can you imagine when that got wet?
Oh, man. I'd be a little sheepish about wearing something like that to the beach.
Got wet? I almost had something.
The traffic signals on your commute might be working. Well, you stop and think about that. Think back to medieval times, all the knights.
Oh.
Knights in armor and now, how did those people ever even keep the human race going? Because by the time they got all that stuff off, they're probably too exhausted to even do anything.
That was the only kind of birth control they had, exhaustion.
Good God. Now the Scottish, for example, they at least wore those kilts for quick access.
You know it.
Quick access.
Aye, laddie.
Traffic signals, and of course, too bad we can't play ever again. That's really sad. Can't play that bit. That is really very sad. I'm desperately trying to, I can't find it.
Play a little bit of it.
Oh, I know. It's under stick. I'm looking for a spoon. It's not under...
You've got to stick your spoon in it, lad. Don't worry, it's not going to break.
Okay, laddie. They are so... As silly as the Brits are, the Scottish are like, they take it to another level,
It's high comedy to me.
And, of course, the people in Wales. In Wales. The traffic signals on your commute might be working, but they aren't necessarily talking to each other. The result, drivers are at the mercy of fickle lights that hold them hostage at numerous intersections along a single street. Throw in a big wreck on I-95 yesterday that floods side streets with drivers looking for shortcuts, as happened Monday morning, as Josh well knows. And the situation becomes even worse. Now, you could almost tell how good that microwave bacon was I had this morning by that Greps. Couldn't you tell?
I can smell it.
A good, healthy aroma from it. I can't tell you how many times I've come to a large intersection that's backed up for miles and the light is only letting 5 or 6 cars through at a time, said Jonathan Matzner of Coral Springs. In addition to replacing missing or damaged signal heads and rehanging wires, crews must also reset the timing of hundreds of signals knocked out by Wilma. When synchronized traffic lights... Well, first of all, when were the lights ever synchronized anyway? When did that happen?
Maybe accidentally.
I must not have been there then.
Right. It was before your time.
When synchronized traffic lights work, they allow motorists to hit a steady stream of green lights on major roads during rush hour. The way I've always found it is that when you go through the first light, you see the next one, and just as you're getting to it, it goes yellow about half a block away, and when you get there, it's red. When they fail, drivers might hit a string of red lights or wait longer for turn arrows onto side streets. If the traffic volume jumps suddenly while the signals are out of whack, the delays grow even longer. That's what drivers on 95 experienced yesterday morning when a fatal crash crossed the 7. Well, we know about that. Teresa O'Connor of Fort Lauderdale said the ill-timed signals are making driving more treacherous. People are trying to beat the red light, she said. Matzner, who commutes from Coral Springs to Boca, said adjusting the timing would solve a lot of problems, and would have a long time ago, too. After you get through the intersection, it's clear sailing, he said. I know the priority is on getting all the lights reinstalled and working, but after that's accomplished, somebody needs to address this problem to relieve some of the gridlock we're stuck with. Of Broward's 1,326 signals, about 1,000 normally are synchronized. The county has reset the timing of 600, leaving 400 still to be fixed. They're way in the behind, man. They got a lot of work yet to do. A lot of work. Jihad El Aid. What? Director of Broward's Traffic Engineering Division is a guy named Jihad. Said at least one of the set of lights at every intersection on 7 major streets in Broward was synchronized by Sunday night, including Broward Boulevard, Commercial Boulevard, Hollywood Pines Boulevard, State Road 7, Sample Road, Federal Highway, University Drive, and a partridge in a pear tree. He said the county is retiming lights on 11 other major streets that pass within miles of school zones, and it's got a list including Sunrise Boulevard, Andrews Ave, Oakland Park Boulevard, Powerline Road, Nob Hill Road, Rock Island Road, Lyons Road, Pine Island Road, Atlantic Boulevard, Hiatus Road, and Flamingo Road. The timing isn't perfect, but if traffic is too heavy, the bottom line intersecting streets is the same. They need to be adjusted, the Jihad Meister said. The Jihad Meister, no wonder they're all screwed up.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
This is Mohammed Ali, and this portion of the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour is brought to you by the letter 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 slices of pizza. All for me.
I was standing there one day, not thinking I would die from being able to make do-do. I should never eat McDonald's. A Big Mac must be trapped inside my bowels. How can you die from infected parts? Who let these butcher doctors in? Now my heart stops. You schmucks at Sinai tore my intestines out. I'm dying over here. I guess I should have known what to expect living in Miami with the kind of service you get in this town. I would pack and leave tomorrow if I didn't eat that crab I swallowed. Why can't you lend me some to relax? Why can't you losers get it right? My bowels were blocked inside my hiney, can't make my turds go out.
Rectum.
I'm dying over here.
1204. Every one of these famous families, famous celebrities, we were talking about Chuck Barris before. His daughter committed suicide. She was had a bad drug problem. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Blamed himself, and to this day blames himself for his daughter killing herself. Art Linkletter, daughter suicide, right?
Right.
Carol O'Connor. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How about the Bee Gees? Andy Gibb, Drugs.
Yep.
I'll guarantee you that Morris's boozing all those years didn't help him when it impacted colon or whatever. Well, however, they butchered him up at Mount Sinai.
No, I don't imagine.
Now, wouldn't you think that guys like that would have enough intelligence? Don't take your brother to Mount Sinai. Take him anyplace else. Do not take him to Mount Sinai. At least not that one.
Why not?
Oh, I was there.
I know.
Don't you remember my gallbladder episode?
Yes, I do.
Last thing I said when I got on the phone was,
I'm dying over here.
I sure thought that was the end, man. The job they did on me. I had to break my way out of that place, too. 731 votes on the poll. We are going to make 1,000 today, or my name is Ish Kabibble. How do you like that? 731, and we're having a lot of fun. You know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to take a preliminary poll. I don't usually tip our hat on the polls, but a preliminary one, you know. I'll stick it on there real early, and the poll, too. Favorite Bee Gees song. And then, of course, we'll put the Bee Gees suck for those people who want to say that, even though anybody that would say that has got taste in their nostril, you know, taste in their earlobe.
I see.
What kind of crap is it? No, wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes, I would.
But, you know, there's part of our crowd that'll say that just because it makes them feel better about themselves. And then just to prove that I'm all whipped up about this after lunch today, because I am thinking very seriously about lunch right now.
Me too.
What are your thoughts about dessert? I want you to see that movie. I might actually have to go out and get that.
Oh, don't do that.
Pin? Why not?
Oh, because it's on cable periodically. I'll catch it.
Oh, it's on cable all the time, but you'll never catch it. I think you'd like it. It's pretty bizarre. Pretty bizarre. And she's really cute, the sister. What's her name again? Whatever her sister's name. The biggest fakers ever on TV. Jim and Tammy Faye Baker rhymes with faker, 144. Moneymaker named Baker, and boy, they were fakers. Anybody want to buy one of them condos, huh? Condo for the Lord. Pat Robertson, 135. He's moving right up on their ass. Dr. Phil, 132. We got a nice three-way race going here. Benny Hinn, 99. Bill O'Reilly, 93. Jimmy Swagger, 35. Geraldo Rivera, 24. Jan and Paul Crotch have got 18. Kevin Trudeau, 17. He should have 17 million. He should have people not pounding the door down. You faker, you quizzling, you maniac.
You fairy.
Yeah. You con artist. Oh, speaking of con artists, the Reverend D. James Kennedy, 15, and anti-Semites as well. Tim Russert, 9. Ernest Ainsley, 7. He can say, baby. That's all he can do. Bad wig. Richard Simmons 6, Richie, Ron Popito 4, and Peter Popoff Solamente Uno. I guess like me, nobody else knows who that is. You ever hear of him?
No.
Josh?
No.
We never heard no Peter Popoff, but like I said, his ministry is honored. Google it. And then when you see fraud.com, you immediately know that this guy belongs on it. We just don't know who he is. Maybe we're better off. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. I was on To Tell the Truth in 1963.
Oh, my God.
Bud Collier was the MC.
Right.
The panel was Lynn
Superman. Bud Collier was Superman.
Yeah. Hello?
I'm here. I'm playing the theme song.
Oh.
Don't you remember that?
The panel was Lynn Fontaine,
Right.
Abe Burrows. And
Abe Burrows, big fat Abe Burrows with a big fat head.
Yeah, brilliant man, though. Brilliant
Yes.
writer. Anyway, and Phyllis Newman. And after the second rehearsal, the producer called me over before they taped the final show.
Yeah.
And he said to me, listen, you can't be funny on this show. Bud Collier has to be funny. I said, but I'm not trying to be funny. Anyway, they taped the final episode. And one of the questions that was asked, what do you wear when you do this? By the way, the name of the person was Marion Hackney. She used to jump off on the pier on the back of a horse into a 50-foot, if you remember that. I don't know. Anyway, one of the questions was, what do you wear? So the first person, Marion Hackney, says, I wear a crash helmet and a bathing suit. The third person, I was in the middle, said she wears a crash helmet and I said, afternoon or evening. And the place cracked up.
Yeah.
Then the next question, 2 questions later, they said, number 1, how big is your horse? And she said, she didn't answer it, really. Number 3, what is, how do you measure a horse?
Okay, well, I guess you had to be there. 5670560. Why did I wait so long? I try to be a nice guy, I just waited a little bit too long.
We're talking.
You're telling a lie. I never know why you don't know how to tell the truth.
Ooh, too bad that was before Greg Reed's time. He could have been a great panelist on there. 5670560, pound 560, the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. See, this kind of stuff, when we reminisce, it brings out all the living and breathing younger callers. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Neil God. I just think I saw the funniest bumper sticker ever. It was a picture of W, and it said, like a rock, only dumber. Bye.
Rock solid.
Excellent. I like that. Like your rock. Okay, thanks. Boy, I tell you, these phone, when they go, boy, they really go today, don't they? They let you know that they're going to go. WQAM, hello. QAM. Sounds awfully silent to me, don't it? In fact, I don't see anything happen there. Oh, there it is. QAM, hello. I see that. My phone must be catching on to him. It was the Ron line. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Were you really wanting to know who Peter Popoff is?
Yeah.
He's some terrible guy in the morning. He's always got this miracle water, and he's always telling you if you drink it, you're going to get lots of money. And there's always some crazy black lady on there going, oh, they send me checks, and they come in one after another, one after another. But that's who he is. He looks like Satan himself, too. He's just hideous.
Oh, God, he must look like the president.
Yeah, he's terrible. He's terrible.
Thanks a lot, Pally. Okay. Yeah, he said they're both terrible. 5670560. Peter Popoff, he's on in the morning somewhere. Maybe he's on, I don't know where he's on. You can Google it. Yeah, the Senate defeated the Iraq war timetable, the 11th Amendment, because, it's all Republicans, or at least most. That's what happens when the Democrats lose all those Senate elections, when we get like a Mel Martinez in there. You got real tourists, baby. For help on this, we better go to Peter Popoff and start drinking that water. WQAM, hello.
Neil, don't be making fun of the pizza shyster. He might come in and give you about a big.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. That was the end of that. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Hey there, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Let me turn you down over here for a second.
Please.
Thank you. You were talking a lot about Bill Cullen this morning.
Right.
He was great.
He was good.
He really was. That was the quintessential TV game show host, I think.
Correct.
And you were talking about him having polio. He did serve in World War II, and he did get his leg shot up on top of it.
Wow.
My father was on his show, I guess. Won a whole bunch of good crap.
On which show?
I guess.
I guess?
Yes, I guess.
Okay.
Hey, it's a good show. The callers are great.
They really are. Have a great day, Pally.
And
see ya. 12 minutes past noon at 560 WQM. We're going to have like 800 more, whatever we got. 758 already. I am so impressed. It takes a lot to impress this old queen, I'll tell you that. But, boy, I am really impressed. Here's the facts. I'm impressed. A lot is being made about beep, but it's very long. Same crap, different year. Saddam Hussein, bada beep, bada boop, bada bop. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, this goes on. Okay. Thank you very much. It's called Restating the Obvious. I agree with you wholeheartedly, and you make a very good case, but it's kind of like that guy that called before that was on To Tell the Truth, that wanted to, like, recreate the whole show on the air. It would have been okay after the first little cutesy, you know what I'm saying? But I think he's still talking. I could be wrong, but I think he's still on there.
Any closure on that story?
12:13 at 560 WQAM.
Even loves Neil Rogers. Absolutely.
She said I was too obese. Take some fence and more relief. Now she's got me hooked on bees. I got 'em from Linda Energy. My pulse is up, down, my head spinning around and round. Haven't slept for 3 days now. Whoa, whoa, some weight program keeps me afraid. How many drugs do I have to take? My hair's falling out and it's been hard to see. Since I saw Linda Energy, you know that my heart's been going wild. Feel like I wanna die. Chills that kill and constipation, not to mention hypertension. She's out peddling drugs all day that drop some weight but ruin your brain. Her doctor husband says it's okay. A physician is insane. My pulse is up, down, my head spinning around and round. Haven't slept for 3 days now. Whoa, whoa. Ben, you're a phony, phony, Ben. You're a phony, phony, Ben. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah, in between popping them oxys, maybe Rush could have popped a couple of fen-fens, too. That was all a big favor. What do you think? Linda Energy won't see her no more. And how about her husband, A Physician? He's my favorite. One of the all-time greatest doctors. Those were the days, man. I was just thinking about that studio at Paxton there, how much bigger and plusher it was than any other one we ever had. Wasn't it great?
Yes, it was.
Oh, what's for lunch today from Howie's? Or is it Tony's, I bet? I bet you Brad brought... Huh?
Right. Brad brought pizza.
Brad brought pizzas. Don't let no pizza thief in there. Oh, we got pizzas in there today, Mo.
We got extra for him.
You got extra pie for the Mo-meister?
No, he just needs
I'd like to see you go in there and offer me a peace offering. A pizza offering.
Well, if we already turned down, you know... Like
yeah, that's right. If you turn us down like they said in The Godfather, if you refuse first time, he won't ask again.
I'm not going to beg him to take any pizza. It's here for anybody who would like to have
Anybody
some.
would like it? There's a whole bunch of pizza from Tony's right up the street. Brad brought it in special. The chef cooked special. The girls will knock your socks off. 773 votes on the poll. We're going to have 800 by the bottom of this hour. We're going to go over 1,000 today easy without any stress. No mess, no stress, no undress. Speaking of undress, Mom's Sex Party's ended a 30-year
About 30, man.
jail term. Remember that story we had?
Yeah, that's tragic.
Golden, Colorado. They should have given her a star, a gold star, and a purple jelly bean.
Right.
Now, what are you... now, you're making me really hungry because I had lunch on my mind already. What are your thoughts on dessert?
Skip it.
A woman who... and that wasn't what he says. Maybe that is what he says. You got to see that movie. I'm telling you, you would like it a lot. It's,
right,
it's really very freaky. It's right up your alley, Sally. It's very good. A woman who authorities said had sex with high school boys during alcohol and drug-fueled parties...
All right.
...has been sentenced to 30 years in prison,
30, man.
officials said. This is in Golden, Colorado. I do like their mustard, though. Sylvia Johnson, 41, of Arvada, Colorado, described herself to investigators as a cool mom who was never popular with classmates in high school and who was beginning to feel like one of the group. It was kind of a group grope. Well, she's 41. What's wrong with that? Right. She pleaded guilty in July to 2 misdemeanor counts of sexual assault and 9 felony counts and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. She was also sentenced for additional charges of third-degree assault, violation of restraining order, and harassment of unrelated cases involving her husband and children, prosecution spokesman Carl Blech said. Authorities said Johnson held parties for the boys almost weekly between October 2003 and the next October. They said Johnson provided drugs and booze to 8 boys and had sex with 5 of them. Oh! Johnson was to be sentenced September 26th, but the hearing was postponed after she was injured the day before while riding in an SUV that veered off an interstate. She's got some problems, poor Sylvia, right? She's just having a tough go of it. Look at that. What does that say? Alleged fraud and runoff election in where? Oh, that's in Liberia. We don't care about that stuff. We don't participate. You care about Liberia?
Not really.
Not that Charles Taylor is gone. I wonder if he's still driving at Northville Downs, Charlie Taylor. How about Frank Taylor with the one thumb? And Ted Taylor. Salmon-flavored soda, anyone? Oh, I hate to do this while you're in the middle of your nice lunch from Brad.
It's all right, go for it.
Jones Soda adds a Pacific Northwest twist to its Thanksgiving flavors, and it smells fishy. Do you know who they had on from New Orleans the other day, now that they're trying to, hock everybody to go there, and it's really going to be great, and, just avoid the swimming Tootsie Rolls?
I give up.
Paul Prudhomme, the big fat chef that looks like Dom DeLuise?
That was the only name that came to mind, but I thought, no, that'd be too easy.
Oh. And that's who it was. Well, I don't know anybody else from New Orleans. How about Emeril Lagasse? He's got a couple of restaurants there, Emeril Lagasse. He's also got those restaurants in Vegas, and they're not really good. What is that? It's Wolfgang Schmuck. You ever eaten that restaurant? It's in the MGM.
I've walked by it. That's kind of like eating there.
It's not bad. The food is pretty good, but the portions are just enough for like 6 people. Why do restaurants do that? Well, what's the point? Are they trying to impress you? I mean, nobody in Vegas is going to take a doggy back up to the room unless they're a real pig. Follow what I'm saying? It's just not done. So what's the point of if you order pasta, they give you enough for a family of 10. You fill up a bathtub with it. That does sound like a good idea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Have somebody sprinkle a whole bunch of maybe great fresh Parmesan all over you. For beverage connoisseurs, tired of turkey and gravy or green beans and casserole flavored sodas, there's a new choice being offered this year by specialty U.S. soda manufacturer Jones Soda Company, salmon, to which I say, feh. I don't like salmon to begin with, much less salmon soda.
Yeah.
Jones Soda, the Seattle company that scored a hit during the last 2 holiday seasons with its turkey and gravy-flavored sodas, said it's offering the orange-hued fish-flavored drink this year in a nod to the Pacific Northwest salmon catch. I mean, if it tasted like Tim's salmon, that would be different. Even Josh knows who Tim's salmon is.
Yes, I do.
When you smell it, it's got that smoked salmon aroma, said Peter Van Stoke, chief executive of Jones Soda. It's got that, fishy smell. Like when you go to an open-air market, like an outdoor farmer market. And they got all the beautiful produce and cold cuts. And then you get to the part where you get fairly close to where they have the fish. Like in Boston, they used to have all these really neat outdoor markets, farmers markets. And then you get to where the seafood and the fish is. Oh, the smell, the stench. Ah! God, you just want to pass out. Or like if you go into a supermarket and they've got some seafood sitting there. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Oh.
It takes forever to get that taste and smell out of your system.
You ought to know, Henry. The artificially flavored salmon soda will be offered as part of a $13 regional holiday pack that also includes other unusual sodas such as turkey and gravy, corn on the cob, broccoli casserole, and pecan pie. Now, that sounds up my alley. Ooh, do I like pecan pie with some whipped cream on it. And maybe even like a little dollop of ice cream. Banana nut. Ooh, doesn't that sound good? A pecan pie with a big 2 scoops of banana nut on there and like a whole bunch of whipped cream and a cherry on top.
That does sound good, actually.
Ooh, man, and put it in the microwave for about 8 seconds and let the ice cream melt just a little bit and the pecan pie get kind of warm and goosey. Ooh, man. While those bottles will be offered locally, Jones Soda is also selling its similarly priced holiday pack of turkey and gravy, wild herb stuffing, Brussels sprouts, cranberry, and punky pie sodas across the country. Oh, wouldn't that be great to have punky pie soda?
No.
Thanksgiving typically features a dinner with what is it? CNN Money, like we don't know this. Tradition, like it's written for children. Oh, God. Van Stoke, who built a Seattle-based soda company by selling traditional sodas as well as exotic flavors such as green apple, bubblegum, and crushed melon, says the most important thing about Jones Soda is we can laugh at ourselves. Asked whether we liked his new salmon soda, he said, I can't finish a bottle. I just can't do it. Maybe you can. Maybe you're a better man than he is.
I'll
give it a try. Just swill some of that crap down there. Chug it, and then just puke up all that nice lunch you're having from Tony's all over. In fact, go into Greg's room and then just puke all over his desk, all over him. Wouldn't that be great? Say, Greg, I was thinking, yeah! You know what I'm saying? That'd be fun.
That'd be funny.
26 past noon at 560 WQAM. We got the Pizza Meister at 2. Mo Howard David at the old Pizza Thief. 2 to 4. Mad Dog 4 to 7. I guess by the time Mad Dog gets in, all the food is always gone every day. Big bucks he's pulling down. He can afford his own food. Panther preview at 7. Panthers at the Montreal Canadiens to play the Frogs, the Pepsis. 7:30 tonight with Geldy and Silly Red Deer Randy. And then you got the Hurricane warm-up. Do I have to really go through that? The Hurricane stuff is at 8:30. The game's at 9 on 1360 KT. And Ed Kaplan's after the Panther game on QAM. Just all these different ball games and all these different frequencies and 640 over here and 1360 over there. And it used to be 790. Remember when 790 was like our farm team? And we used to farm out all the games that we didn't want on QAM?
Yeah.
Because Greg signed like overlapping contracts. He wouldn't do that, would he?
Still think your BlackBerry has you totally connected?
Yeah?
Think again, because now the future of wireless technology is totally connected to you. Introducing the Dingleberry. Forget those clunky belt clips. The Dingleberry hangs snugly from the most secure portion of your anatomy. Here, take a look at mine.
Oh, whoa!
Email, the internet, and cell phone service in a device just 1/10 the size of ordinary PDAs. In fact, you'll never even know your Dingleberry is there.
Sounds expensive. Will it wipe out my savings?
No, if there was any wiping, you wouldn't even have a Dingleberry.
Cool. I'm going to pick out a Dingleberry right now.
Sit on the future with the Dingleberry. It's everything it's cracked up to be.
Rectum. Trump 31, yeah, Mo stopped eating at IHOP because he enjoyed the boysenberry, but he couldn't find the Dingleberry. And he said, no Mo for me. He'll probably just come in and steal 2-3 boxes of pizza. Sluggish passport lines at Miami International pitted Homeland Security against the Miami-Dade Aviation Department. They got really serious problems there at MIA. Chronic delays that periodically dog international travelers at Miami International are the product of too few passport control officers or outmoded facilities, depending on whom you ask. The federal government insists all these kids are huffing Axe body spray now. Do you notice that?
That story. I saw that.
They're huffing and puffing and dying over there. Quit huffing, kids. Quit, drop the faggots and quit huffing. The federal government insists that the problem stems from inadequate airport facilities and uneven distribution of gate assignments for arriving flights. Airport and airline managers blame delays on a shortage of passport control officers. The dispute has exposed a long, festering problem at MIA, the nation's busiest airport in terms of foreign travelers, and for several weeks this past summer drew the Miami-Dade County Aviation Department and U.S. Customs and Border Protection into a round of mutual finger-pointing. By September, however, a reconciliation of sorts began to emerge, and by last week, county and federal officials were talking seriously about solutions. You know, this is what cracks me up. They're having these hearings in the Senate now, and they're talking about, well, let's devise an exit strategy now. Let's have a plan. Well, wouldn't you think before we went in there, this is one of the things that they should have done in the first place?
Why do you hate America?
As opposed to all, lining up, including the Democrats. Oh, yeah, whatever you want. Let's get all those evildoers, okay? What a crock of crap, man. This is the leadership you got in America. No wonder the public just forget the elections, okay? Just let's disband the government. Look at all the money we'll save. What the hell are they doing for us anyway? Safety, safety, safety. Yeah, old bitch. I'd like to find her, I'll tell you that right now. I'd like to find that old bag. 809 votes. I told you we'd have over 800 by the bottom of the hour. We did. Aren't you impressed? This is exciting.
Slightly.
Well, no, actually, it's like, everything is coming back into shape after that whole Wilma mess, We're doing What is this? Oh, I don't want that one. No, we know that. The one I wanted was this. Another Chuck Barris show. And the networks were embarrassed by it, but they put it on anyway. Now, the dating game, that was Jim Lang, right? Jim Lang?
I'll take your word for it.
He was good, Jim Lang. Glasses. You remember Jim Lang. You never saw the dating game?
Sure, but I don't remember.
Come on now.
The host.
Not only was that one of the worst shows in the history of TV, but the host, that's that Bob Eubanks again with the stiff neck, the starched collar. He doesn't have a starched collar, he has a starched neck. Did you ever watch the way he carries his head?
Yeah.
Like on a plate?
Sort of. Like.
No, you know what I'm talking about.
Side,
like it's
cocked to the side.
It's kind of like that picture of Lee Harvey Oswald holding that Mannlicher Carcano, and his head is like facing in one direction and the rest of the body's in an impossible angle. It's kind of like that. A Republican senator wants a law to require bright pink license plates on vehicles driven by people with restricted driving privileges due to convictions for DUI. Oh, God. Senator Mike Fasano of Port New Richey filed a bill earlier this month that requires the first three characters on the plate to read DUI. What is it again? DU. Maybe it'll embarrass people and keep them from drinking and driving, Fasano said. Maybe they'll think twice. The bill also says police may stop any vehicle that bears a DUI plate without probable cause to check the driver. How do you like that? So it's like wearing some kind of a tattoo on your head.
A scarlet letter.
Ohio and Michigan have similar laws in place. Other states have debated the issue but failed to pass it due to privacy reasons. Of course, in Florida, there ain't no such thing. Pink plates would hold out individuals for punishment as well as ridicule. We're very opposed to it, said Larry Spalding, legislative counsel for the ACLU in Florida. About 840,000 of Florida's 15 million licensed drivers have an active DUI sanction on their driving records, said Frank Piniella, Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicle spokesman. A small percentage of those have limited driving privileges, such as permission to drive only to work and from work. It could take 2 years to get the support, but I think it's worth the effort, Pisano said. If I can't get a House sponsor, then maybe I can get it passed in the Senate and attach it to a larger transportation bill. Pink license plates. I'll tell you one thing, it'd be a big improvement over those ones that say choose life.
Oh, yeah.
Which has absolutely no business being on the state license plate. Absolutely none. Zero, zippity-doo-dah. But you can thank your born-again, hypocritical, holy roller, fat-ass governor for that. Choose life, my ass.
Yeah. How about mind your own business,
Yeah. How about you go and worship your fairy tales, and I'll do mine, and leave me the hell alone. Yeah. That's the problem with these fundamentalists, these phony, baloney hypocrites, with the dysfunctional, drunken, coke-snorting families, and lying families, murdering families. They just can't stop telling everybody else how to live their lives. Screw you, Jeb, and your whole family, the ganze Mishpacha, including your smuggling wife. God. Well, what a disgrace, that poll we had a few days ago about the worst Bush offense. I mean, you could have what a laundry list that was, as long as your arm.
You could write a book.
Good golly, Miss Molly, starting with Prescott Bush, the banker to the Nazis. What a classy family, huh? Unbelievable. 813 votes in that poll. Let's see how it's going. I haven't leaned on the poll enough because we've had a heavy-duty pressure day. I thought it was going to be no pressure. Heavy-duty. Biggest leak, the biggest leak you ever took. The biggest fakers on TV is Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, 164. Pat Robertson, 149. Dr. Phil, 143. A fantastic three-way horse race. Bill O'Reilly, 107. Benny Hinn, 106. And then it's way down. Jimmy Swagger, 39. Geraldo Rivera, 28. Geraldo's moving up there ever since he opened up a Grant's tomb and found Al Capone inside it. Janet Paul Crotch, 19. Kevin Trudeau, 18. He ought to have 18 billion. There is a man, I see him on TV, I want to, spit blood at the set. I want to take, a rock and heave it through the screen. The Reverend D. James Kennedy, 17. Tim Russer, 12. Ersatz. Ernest Ainsley, 7. Richard Simmons has got 6. Richie Simmons. Ron Popeil, 4. And Peter Popoff still only 1. 820 votes, he's only got 1. And that's because we never heard of him before.
Right.
So I guess we got a good warning, though. It's probably a public service that the faxer did, getting us to put him on a poll. Because now, if you see Peter Popoff, bust your TV set. Light it on fire. Put a bunch of kerosene on your set and light it a match to it. 5670560. The calls have been so good. That guy was right. We ought to take at least 300-400 between now and 2.
Do it.
Between now and Mo time. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yep.
Hi, listen. That caller that called in before when he's talking about the match, or one of the game shows.
Yeah.
Well, that was Charlie Babbitt. And that's Tom Cruise character, different Rain Man.
He's a very good driver, though.
Definitely.
567. That's what the guy said earlier when we didn't understand him. He said Charlie Babbitt watches Wheel of Fortune. Well, actually, he was watching Judge Wapner is what he was watching. But nevertheless, just make it up as you go along. Charlie Babbitt. So he called back because he watched Charlie Babbitt again. And he's not related to Billy Bibbit. Is he from Cuckoo's Nest?
Nobody belongs there.
WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Jeb Bush owes me 4 years of my life. The whole 4 years of my life. FCAT this, FCAT that. I graduated. Nobody cares about FCAT. It's the SATs I got to worry about.
There you go.
4 years of my life. You owe me.
Call him up and tell him F him.
Yeah, and F that.
Yeah, F this and F that and F cat and F him, the fat-ass governor. Piece of turd. But he's very popular, though, Neil. You know what? Oh. Just like he sold out on that offshore drilling that he lied through his teeth about. Now, all of a sudden, he changed his mind. Well, maybe it's not such a bad idea after all. This man, see, this is why it's just so difficult for me to fathom, even though I've been there for 30 years in Florida, and I know there's a lot of really stupid people. But how is it you can have an election, like on the thing with the slots in Broward, and the people say, okay, well, we want it, we agree to it, we read what it said on there, we know exactly what we're voting on, and then they just keep dragging their feet. Now here it's going to be in December, they're going to have the special session, and maybe they'll do this, and and the public just sits back and they take it. We need somebody to we need a Walter Dartland, only like a real guy, a real consumer advocate. Remember Walter Dartland? That's before your time.
Right, no.
He used to be on my show a few times when I had those boring guests, and boy, he was boring. He was the consumer advocate, but at least he would fight FP&L. He would go to bat, something like this. We need somebody. We need some assistance here, is what we need. Like Lee Harvey Oswald said, remember that? He was, I need somebody to come forward, some assistance. I didn't do nothing. 20 till 1, and he didn't do nothing either, but of course you'll never know the truth on that. We'll all be dead and buried by the time. Oh, guess what? He didn't do it. When disaster strikes, and of course we're talking about Hurricane Wilma, a major disaster, and your home or business suffers water damage, there's one place you ought to be calling, and that's Dry Concepts. They're miracle workers. Trust me when I tell you, because I've used them in my homes for over 20 years now to clean my carpets, my furniture, all of these things. Dry Concepts can remove excess water and dry your home or business fast using the very latest innovations in dry technology. Dry Concepts drying system can eliminate the need for costly reconstruction and replacement of your treasured belongings. Unhealthy mold and mildew conditions are eliminated by the proper use of their specialized drying process. If the damage is really extensive, you really got walloped by Wilma, Dry Concepts licensed contractors can provide needed estimates and professional services. So if water damage really hits you hard, panic no more. Call the pros. They'll make everything look like brand new. And they give you a written guaranteed price up front before they start the work, too. The best in the universe, Dry Concepts. Call them toll-free from Dave Broward in the Palm Beaches, 1-800-248-5071. That's 1-800-248-5071. Or on the wicked web, it's dryconcepts.com.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Oh, I come from Crawford, Texas, with a guitar on my knee. While they died in Louisiana, I raised cash for the GOP. Oh, Katrina, don't put no blame on me, 'cause I come from my vacation for a photo opportunity.
Swing your partner round and round. Now do a little swimming through New Orleans town. Swim to the left, to the right, here we go. Sling a little mud, now do-si-do.
Oh, Katrina, why didn't those people flee? 'Cause it's worse in Louisiana than it is for an Iraqi. Desperate housewives, you know you all make my weekend with your crimes and your cheating on Sunday night. Oh, you're all hotties. We love the sexy things you're doing, and that's why we're all tuning in till the Sopranos come back.
I'm dying over here.
Never seen it. I saw like 2 minutes of it. I saw Miguel was in there, not our Miguel, but the Miguel from Passions. What's his name again? Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And I have no interest.
Well, if you've seen 2 minutes, that's 2 minutes more than I have.
Maybe 30 seconds.
Why would you watch a network TV show about, like sex or anything like that?
Well, it's a soap opera, okay?
Right.
It's a nighttime soap opera, which is fine. I mean, I did watch Knots Landing all those years, but that's long gone. And I think that whole, I don't know, I just have no interest. Don't have room in my life for any more of that crap. Cheeseburger bill high on the GOP menu in Washington. Fears that overweight Americans will develop an appetite for litigation drove the House to pass a bill that would bar lawsuits by restaurant customers claiming burgers and fries made them fat. I don't see why can't I sue Haagen-Dazs for making a banana nut?
Yeah, for making it so yummy that you can't resist.
That's right. Because you know damn well they're putting like all kinds of additives in that crap to make it really addictive. And don't tell me that those chemicals aren't like you're addicted to them, because you are.
Right, they're adding sugar.
Trial lawyers have said they target restaurants the way they've targeted the tobacco industry. National Restaurant Association President Stephen Anderson said, no such flood of litigation has yet developed. Lawyers who follow the issue know of only one restaurant obesity suit, a 2003 claim by 2 New York teenagers against McDonald's. But there are deeper reasons behind the campaign for the so-called cheeseburger bill, legal industry observers say, including rising liability insurance rates. Concern in Washington about lawsuits in general also is driving the bill, which cleared the House days before Congress also granted gun makers immunity from injury lawsuits. Both are part of a larger effort by Republicans to shield certain industries from litigation. The President, for example, submitted a bill to Congress last week that would protect producers and distributors of emergency vaccines from injury suits, except in cases of willful misconduct. There is a growing feeling that if this trend continues, every major industry would be immune from lawsuits, said Jonathan Turley. Oh, yeah, we see his ugly puss on the TV all the time. George Washington University law professor. You've seen him, right?
If you say so.
Well, you would know Jonathan Turley from Bob Turley.
No.
A dozen other industries, such as those who make airplanes and weight reduction products, could make the same arguments raised by gun makers and fast food restaurants, he said. The Personal Responsibility in Food Consumption Act, approved last month, would bar lawsuits seeking to blame individual food and beverage producers for a person's weight gain, obesity, or related health problems. The Senate's considering a companion bill, and President Bush already has promised to sign it, of course, anything to do to protect his buddies in big business. 21 states had passed similar bans. Sacramento lawmakers rejected one such bill this spring, but the proposed federal ban, sponsored by Representative Rick Keller of Florida, would apply in California and other states without bans in place. Keller's bill is a complete waste of time, said Linda Lipson, a spokeswoman for the Association of Trial Lawyers of America. Of all the problems there are, this is really ludicrous, she said. But industry officials point to a handful of suits over artery-clogging trans fats and nutrition labeling as a sign that obesity suits are at risk for restaurants. You know something? I'm tired of the whole deal, you know? Right. The same with the tobacco companies. That's the only problem. I agree with this thing about the restaurants and food. Nobody's making the choices for you, okay? The ingredients are right there on the label. Right. Read it and weep, okay?
If the product is legal, how
and
can
just
you
like
get in
the skull and crossbones that's on that pack of cigarettes, them faggots out there, and the big warning in huge letters that even a blind man can read, this is going to kill you. Smoking this crap is going to kill you. Right. Cigarette smoking kills, and in spite of that, they're still puffing and huffing and puffing. Oh, but the nicotine is addictive, and like the sugar isn't addictive and the stuff that I'm eating all the time, that damn ice cream, which they should only rot in hell. And you sugar people, by the way, oh, yeah. Better not get too excited about them. They get really hostile, the sugar, right. Yeah, the sugar crowd. They start playing an Archie song.
Coming right up.
800 and... You never got the Nights on Broadway. Don't let me forget to get the Bee Gees stuff today. I got to go on this last time. I got to get the Bee Gees, baby. Now, some people... I'm not going to play a whole lot of music tomorrow. The audience gets very upset. You know, it's one thing to play... You know... See, well, they all can relate to that. They like Bob Barker. Or at least they like Barker's beauties, or maybe both. I know he likes them a little bit too much. And there's nothing wrong with being a 90-year-old guy with white hair that's, you know, chasing around all the Barker beauties on there, right?
Nothing at all if you can get away with it.
Exactly. What's wrong with a little sexual harassment? That's what Clarence Token Thomas said, something like that. Didn't he say that?
Yeah, he said, how about a little sugar?
I think he said...
Sexual harassment. Harassment a lot to me.
Yeah, see? What's wrong with that? There you go, Archie's and the Sugar medley, they're smashed. There was no Archie's. There is no...
one guy.
Just like Ned Beatty said. There is no Exxon. There is no America, etc. No, that's not what he said. He said whatever he said. 861 votes on the poll. I'm just stalled to see we're going to get to we're going to get there easy today. And this is a Mahaya, man. This is a pleasure. No pushing, no yelling, no squeezing, no right?
I'm pushing.
No doubt. Oh, I'm sorry. Not too big on them. Although I do like them better than Destiny's Child.
Well.
Or Pink. I got an idea. Instead of having DUI people have pink license plates, how about having them forcing them to listen to that music all day, round the clock?
No thanks.
It's like Celine Dion music in hell. You know, I can't help myself. I have to. I can't help it.
Peter Jennings, what a life.
Oh, I mean, tremendous.
Let's go to calls. Lucilla, Georgia. Hello.
Hi there.
Hi.
First of all, Larry, I want to thank you for channeling Mr. Jennings from Beyond the Grave for us.
Okay.
Peter, how are things in hell?
Well, it's hard. I never thought it was going to be anything but hard.
So I guess now you're really a smoker, huh?
Oh, yes. I think it goes with the territory.
Goes with the territory. Ocala, Florida, for Peter Jennings. Hello.
Hey, Peter, do you know any dead celebrity jokes?
No, ma'am, and if I did, I wouldn't say so.
Baldwin City, Kansas. Hello.
Yeah, Peter, are the rumors true? Is hell really a couple degrees cooler than the center of a McDonald's apple pie?
I think the answer is yes. But you've asked a question that a lot of people in the country are going to ask today.
Somerset, Kentucky, for Peter Jennings. Hello.
Hi, gentlemen.
Hi.
Hello, ma'am.
Mr. Jennings, is there Celine Dion music in hell?
Yes. And it just happens. It goes on and on and on for hour and hour and hour after ending.
Oh, my. I think that would make my ears bleed.
Oh, many do indeed.
One more call. We have a minute left. Downers Grove, Illinois. Hello.
Mr. Jennings, what would you like for Christmas?
Saddam Hussein.
Oh, so Saddam's on your wish list.
Yes, as is George Bush. George Bush is also...
Peter Jennings.
Yeah.
Thank you as always, Peter.
Thanks, Larry. It's really nice to see you.
Have no fear. He'll be there one of these days. The Bushmeister. He'll be, just like Doug Thompson said, that column I read yesterday, we should only rot in hell. I thought that was, you know...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it summed up my sentiments exactly. And now that poll today, I think that's the first time we ever saw the hate percentage. It's not is he doing a bad job or a good job, but you hate him like poison, and a whole bunch of people... Yeah, a lot of us are saying, yeah, Now that you ask... Okay, let's take a few more calls, because these calls are the bread and butter. They're the gravy and potatoes of our lives, aren't they? Not?
Oh, yeah, well, the meat...
5670560. #560 in the Verizon and Singular wireless line. Your favorite Bee Gees song. Isn't that what we're doing?
Sure.
WQAM, hello. QAM. He's got the cord tied around his neck. Keep twisting it. Give it a little yank. Okay, that's it. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You touched a subject on the Florida legislature, and I don't know if you heard recently, but the pari-mutuels were having poker tournaments, and they took them to court. Dania, Highlight, and Calder took them to court, won, and it was appealed, and they won again. So the legislature picked up their books and took the law off the books that they now can't hold tournaments. Could you believe this? To the tune that they've in the last year and a half, I think they've gained like $4 million to the state coffers,
right?
In just these poker tournaments. So it's obviously a benefit. The people are enjoying playing it, but yet because
that's the problem. People are having a good time. You don't understand that. That's against the whole Florida philosophy, man. People are not supposed to have a good time.
It's unbelievable, man. We're in the we're in the dark ages in this
You got it, man.
state.
I'll pray for you. Okay. By the way, Canada would like to apologize. I want to be the spokesman here. Canada would like to apologize to the whole world for Celine Dion.
We do not forgive.
And Anne Marie. Now, Anne Marie's okay for a guy.
Anne Marie? Yeah, nice whiskey.
Hey, she's married and got a whole pack load of kids, man. She's got a whole bunch, just like Neil Sedaka. They're not married to each other, but that would be an interesting fit.
That'd be something.
You having a good time? He kind of reminds me of Jeff Garcia a little bit, only not quite so butch. He don't play sports. I like Neil Sedaka, though, a lot.
No problem with me.
No, what's wrong with Neil Sedaka? Although I bet you Josh don't even really know much from Neil Sedaka. Huh? You know that song?
I know more than enough.
Throwing up is hard to do? That's what most of it. Throwing up is hard to do unless you steal a whole bunch of somebody else's pizza and like shovel it all in your puss real fast. What a talk-up by long distance.
Here's a trivia about that.
Yes?
That's the only
Captain
song.
and Tennille.
That's the only song released twice by the same person in different incarnations.
Number one.
It was a hit each time, yes.
It was number one both times. Right. And he also wrote Gloves Will Keep Us Together for the Captain and Schlemiel. No, it was the same song the first time.
I'm trying to find it. I only have the one version here.
I see. You don't have Gloves Will Keep Us Together with the Captain and Schlemiel?
Yeah, but that's under their entry. I have
that was what is this? Something in the Rain? Laughter in the Rain?
That's it.
Oh.
Here you go. You requested it.
Here we go. Captain Schlemiel, baby. Oh! It's a hit. Oh! It's a big, fat, boobied hit, as Robert Duvall would say. Isn't that what he said?
That's what he said.
You're gay.
That was a great scene. That was sensational. It's a big, fat, and he's holding his hands like where his boobies would be, you know. Robert Duvall, man, he is so great, and I realize it's not that he's not recognized as a great actor, but I just don't think he gets the accolades that he deserves. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
I mean, why do we have to always honor people after they croak? Why can't we just throw a big thing and say, hey, Robert Duvall, we love you, and we want to sniff your armpits, and you're just great, and The Godfather, and Network, and the great Santini, and
once I figure out how to edit DVDs, since as you know, I know how to copy them now. But once I figure out how to edit them, I'll just cut that one scene from Apocalypse Now for you, so you can appreciate that.
Okay. Because the rest of it, there's about as much chance of my watching Apocalypse Now as there is of my watching City of God.
Oh, well, yeah, forget City of God, watch Monsters Ball.
How about City of...
Neil God! This is Neil Rogers.
Oh, they're not Rockies, they're Brazilians.
This is 560 QAM.
It's Scott Burrell. And when I'm up in Boca Chica slapping old women with painted lips around the pool,
I listen to the Neil Rogers 1 to 2 hours.
I listen to the Neil Rogers Fair and Balanced 1 to 2 hours.
Hey, ladies, always dreamed of being a professional football cheerleader? Well, now you can be trained by the best at the Carolina Panthers Cheerleading Clinic. If you're 18 or older, have a background in cheerleading, have been wronged by a man at least once, and like soft, sweet, and beautiful girls, then this camp is for you. This 3-day, 2-night camp is limited to only 30 attendees who will spend their days in special seminars and their nights in 15 single beds. You'll learn how to do the splits in a bathroom stall, how to cartwheel all the way to the police car, and how to smile at the mugshot camera. Plus, at the Carolina Panthers Cheerleader Clinic, you'll learn cheers like these.
You might be a team. You can't make us. Well, maybe.
For
Carolina Panthers Cheerleading Clinic.
Sponsored by Stanley Steamer, your carpet cleaning specialist.
Reserve your space at the clinic now. Call 1-800-GIRL-ON-GIRL. That's 1-800-GIRL-ON-GIRL.
It's 102 at 560 WQM 888. We got 888 voting at 888. Looks pretty great to me. That means we're going to get to 1,000 without even leaning on you. We don't have to be a pain in the ass. Come on, let's go. Stuff like that.
And that's
that
what
people
we
get
just
really
did.
pissed off about. What?
That's what we just did, me and Josh. 888.
And that's what I heard.
All that pizza.
I hope you left a couple of boxes of pizza for the pizza thief.
There's 2 slices left. We'll make that
one.
Solamente uno. I thought you said there was tons of it.
Well, there were, and we got busy.
I see. Sounds to me like you were eating extra just to make sure that somebody got left out.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, you guys are brutal. I don't want to be associated with you guys and Hank and all these people piling on the poor old man, defenseless old Momeister. He's had his moments. I mean, we haven't been involved in any of them, but he's had his moments. 888, that's pretty exciting. Mo will be here at 2. He can handle himself, okay, believe me. Mad Dog 4 to 7. Panther Preview at 7. Geldy and Red Deer Randy, baby. Squeaky Geldy, and he's doing a fine job. Nice going, Geldy. He's in Montreal. In fact, I bet you if I look out the window, I can, hey, how you doing, old Geldy, you Squeakmeister? He's a little kind of far away. It's not really that far. It's about a 45-minute flight. You'll just love it there. Not. I was going to tell you where to go.
Oh, you already have.
Someplace. Yeah. Panthers at the Montreal Canadiens tonight at the Bell Center, which used to be the Molson Center, which used to be the Forum in Montreal, which is another building. The Montreal Canadiens, damn good team this year. They're kicking some serious ass, although I see Kovalev is having surgery. He ain't playing. Damn it. But the Panthers are playing. The Panthers who lose every day. And, of course, if they have the lead in the last second and a half, they're going to blow it anyway. But anyway. 7:30, that's on the QAM, and on 1360 AM on WKAT. Catch the Cat. Hurricane warm-up at 8:30, and 9 o'clock, the Hurricanes and Wisconsin Green Bay basketball from the BCA Classic. That's on KAT for those who care. And Eddie K is after the hockey game on QAM for those who care. How many care about the Panthers now?
About 30, man.
Yeah, that's right. Jump off the bandwagon just because they're going through. They're really disappointing to me. I thought they were going to be really good this year.
Hey, they got a really nice bar at the place.
Joe Newendike's always injured now, and Gary Roberts is a shell of his. I guess the Leafs were smart to unload those old coots, and maybe they can retire in Sunrise. And they're just, I don't know, they just don't score no goals, the Panthers. Even that game Friday that I touted with Carolina, that should have been a great game. Every time Carolina and the Panthers play, it's a coma game. It was 1-0 with the Panthers on the nothing end. And it's really sad. But at any rate, hey, Jack Martin, maybe you don't got those players from Ottawa now, Jack. Now let's see what kind of coach you really are, huh? All those choke jobs in the playoffs. Let's see what kind of coach you really are, Froggy. 892 votes. Any minute now we're going to be to 900. Then it's the race to 1,000. Race you to 1,000. We haven't done line 9 even once today, have we? WQAM, playing it really bold. Hello.
Body wash, big spice, give them soggy.
Okay, good. WQAM, hello.
Oh, Neil, how are you, sir?
Pretty good.
All right.
Body wash or soap?
Oh, body wash, man.
Thank God. Here's a real man.
Neil, I have a question for you. What are you talking about, Luke? Are you talking about those little fluffy round things?
No, that's the scrunchie.
Yeah. That's what I use. I use the little things and put my man all over it.
He uses a little fluffy one, yeah. So I don't want to guess where he's sticking it, but I have some ideas. Wow. Well, at least he's not Miguel. He's not like one of these, oh, gee, my master washed my masculinity off. You see, the only kind of a person would say that who's got a real hang-up. And the only person who would say that would be some Hispanic. For the most part. I'm not saying that there aren't isolated pockets here and there where people are really uptight about their masculinity. But you know what it is. You grew up in it.
Did I?
Well, maybe you didn't. But you certainly know what I'm talking about.
No, I've seen it. The whole machismo thing.
Right. The whole macho. I'm a macho man. Like Macho Camacho. Like Tommy Cruise. There you go. He's about as macho as most of your buddies there. Especially that little group that calls us all the time. WQAM, hello.
For the most part.
Hi, is this the Neil Rogers Show?
Neil Rogers Show. This is it, Pally. Award-winning and spectacular, yes.
How you doing? I was calling to say about the playing at the Muskrat Love Song. You seen that one from Captain and Neil? You guys were playing that earlier?
Muskrat Love Song.
What about
it? There it is.
There you go. That's a good sound for you.
You want it, we got it, man. We're on top of it. That's our new format. Ooh, I think I nailed that.
You nailed Captain?
Yeah, no thanks.
Back in the day.
What happened to them? They were like one of them flashes in the pans. They were here and they were gone.
They actually had quite a few hits and they made some money. And they
Get out of here.
What? All right. Want me to list them off? Here. Love will keep us together. Lonely night.
I got my
Angel
book
face.
right here. Lonely
Shop
Nights.
around. Muskrat Love.
Love.
Do that to me one more time. Those were all on like different albums, and they had their own show, and they made a
Captain
lot of
and
money.
Schlemiel. I'm looking it up
They
right
went
now.
away.
My top 40 book. Okay. Here's Captain Schlemiel. Oh, you're right.
Jesus crap, but
The Way I Want to Touch You. I don't
I don't even have that. But I
Love
remember
Will Keep
it.
Us Together was number 1 for 4 weeks. The Way I Want to Touch You was got up to number 4, and I never even heard of it. Although, like I said, right, Lonely Night, Angel Face, 3. That was first recorded by Neil Sedaka.
Yeah,
See, I told you he was tight with them. He wrote
Yeah.
their crap. Shop Around, number 4. Now, please don't tell me that was the same Shop Around as the Miracles.
No, totally
Oh,
different.
Muskrat Love.
I'm not sure actually. I could play
Can't
it.
Stop Dancing. You've Never Done It Like That. Oh, You Need a Woman Tonight. And Do That to Me, which you just played, was number 1. Do That to Me one time.
Tell me what am I going to
They were around for 4 years, and then bye-bye, and that was it. In fact, what does it say here? Let's do a little, the captain, Daryl Dragon.
Right.
Born in L.A., his wife, Toni Tennille, born in Montgomery, Alabama. Dragon's the son of noted conductor Carmen Dragon. Are you kind of dragging it? Keyboardist with the Beach Boys, nicknamed the Captain by Mike Love. Duo had own TV show on ABC from 76-7. He was the keyboardist with the Beach Boys, named the Captain by Mike Love, who's now suing poor Brian Wilson because Brian just wanted to use a few of those old songs. Come on, Mike. Where's the love, baby? Where is the love? That's what Mo wants to know. Where is the love? Where is the pizza? And where is the love, Mike?
Well, if I had my way, Brian Wilson would be up on the stand now. Seems he forgot that library of music really should have been canned now. Well, I'm blasting mad, call my attorney and come up with a plan now. It'll be no fun, trying to take Brian's profits away. Yeah, that Brian Wilson made the band look like a disgrace now. And since he marketed Smile, he'll really have a big lawsuit to face now.
Absolutely.
His promotional blitz sure makes me want to be slapping his face now. It'll be no fun, trying to take Brian's profits away.
906 votes. They're kind of slowing down a little bit now because they're just assuming. Don't take anything for granted, okay? Don't let's lay down on a job on that poll. We want everybody out there voting 200, 300, 400 times, okay?
Right.
Just to make sure we get to that 1,000.
An hour.
No, and I'm serious because if you take it for granted, then all of a sudden you look on there, it's like 140, and you got like 960 votes, and you're saying, what the hell happened there? You know? We need to keep up the same frenetic, frantic pace. Keep up the old pace, baby. 906, and Peter Popoff has still got the same one. What the hell I just do there? Oh, you know what I just did?
What?
I was so excited with that Brian Wilson thing that I just knocked the pot. I just knocked the pot over, and maybe if you're quick, you can grab it.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
I like it. I like it.
If you or a loved one is a retired network news anchor, you owe it to yourself to visit the Anchors Away Rest Home, the retirement community specially designed for elderly talking heads.
I'm Dan Nutter, tapioca pudding, shuffleboard, and a nurse on call 24/7. It's all part of our world here at Anchors Away.
The professional staff at the Anchors Away Rest Home is always there for our clients.
This is Tom Brokaw in my room. I've fallen and I can't get up.
We'll send someone up right away, sir.
Thank you. And when I fall again in the morning, I'll see you tomorrow.
If you plan to retire from the TV news business, stop by the Anchors Away Rest Home, and we'll answer all your questions.
I'm Ted Koppel. Is it possible to get 2 adjoining rooms? One for me and one for my hair?
The Anchors Away Rest Home, because in the words of Walter Cronkite,
you're old, and that's the way it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we agree. We're old and we got big numbers. How do you like that? Joel Feinberg don't like it because they're younger and hipper over there. They're younger and hipper with a big. Oh, they got no audience though. 921 vote on the poll. We need 79 more. I'm not assuming anything now. The way this thing has kind of flowed down.
Yeah.
And during the break there, right toward the ass end of the break, there's a knock on my door. It's the maid. She's got like this little wastebasket, a little blue wastebasket. Where the hell am I supposed to stick that?
Rectum.
So I got to I'll be there 1 second. I got to throw my clothes on. I'm sitting here in my underwears doing this show, you know?
That'll learn you.
Well, I don't get lost, honey. I told her tomorrow's cleaning day. Get out of here. And she seemed like kind of embarrassed, like maybe I was like, had somebody in here, had like an orgy in here. I wish. 921 votes, the biggest faker on TV ever. Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, 187. They've had the lead from the get-go, as they say.
Yeah.
Why do they say that?
Why do that?
Pat Robertson, 175. Pat's right on their trail, man. He'll catch him. If anybody can do it, he the man. Dr. Phil, 152. And Bill O'Reilly, 120, is moving into a little bit of contention there. Benny Hinn, 114. Jimmy Swaggart, 43. Geraldo Rivera. You know, Benny Hinn must stink really. Maybe it's that curry factor. He must smell really bad because everybody gets near him on that show. They all pass out on the floor.
Yeah,
you ever
they swoon.
Yeah, they swoon and pass out. I've been there. Oh, God. There was a man sitting next to me on, what day was it? On Saturday morning at Woodbine playing the slots. He looked just like Jack Waltz from The Godfather. He looked like, almost like an identical twin. Okay?
Okay.
And I thought, so I kind of looked at him like, hey, that's interesting.
I don't care how many Dago, Guinea, what greaseball goombas come out of the woodwork.
He had a suit, a sport jacket on that must have been from before Hitler was a baby. I mean, this thing was 100 years old, musty, and he lifted his arm to, like, reach back and get his wallet, you know, to put more money.
Oh,
Thank God he didn't win anything, and he was not there too long. That thing, he must have been sleeping in it for 100 years. Well, I know I keep harping about that, but I've just never encountered so many smelly people in my life. Man, I don't care, body wash, soap, something, anything. Jesus.
Baking soda.
Oh, speaking of people who stink, there's Don Rumsfeld, a.k.a. Hermann Goering, Rudolf Hess. 926 vote on the poll. It's a little weak now. Jim and Tammy Faye, what did I read to? Jimmy Swaggart, 43, Geraldo, 34. Kevin Trudeau, 24. He's starting to make a march now that they figured out what a faker he is, who he is. Jan and Paul Crouch, 22. Reverend D. James Kennedy, 17. Selling hate all over the world. Tim Russert, 12. Ernest Ainsley, 8. Richard Simmons, 8. And 8. And 8. Ron Popeil, 5. And now Peter Popoff's got a pair. Let's hear it for old Peter. Finally, somebody else who knows who that water-selling faker is. Don't you want some of that great elixir?
Elixir?
WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what, how can you leave off Oprah?
Yeah, she's a snake oil sales bitch, yeah.
She is, and guess what? The zest is great. I converted to the zest from the apricot scrub.
Right, I got both. The zest is
Yeah,
very good.
I got both. I did odd and even nights.
Yeah, there you go.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Pally. See, there's a Zest body wash guy. Now, what's that Oprah thing? Oprah, you know the one I mean, where she's going to, like, I never played that enough.
Which one? The
I know what it's called.
On the next Oprah, you'll be shocked. You'll be amazed. You'll be talking about it for the next however long until she shocks you again. Oprah makes your wildest dreams come true. Today, everyone in the studio audience, all 276 members, get a brand new liver.
Everybody gets a liver! Everybody gets a liver!
Then, tomorrow, all 276 studio audience members get a brand new uvula.
Everybody gets a brand new uvula! Everybody gets a brand new uvula!
The next day, all 276 members of the studio audience get a 3-foot helper monkey.
Everybody gets a 3-foot helper monkey! Everybody gets a 3-foot helper monkey!
The next day, all 276 audience members get a new prosthetic arm.
Everybody gets a prosthetic arm! Everybody gets a prosthetic arm!
Oprah, giving away great stuff she didn't have to pay for, even though she could easily afford to. And next season, everybody in the studio audience gets Stedman.
Everybody gets Stedman! Everybody gets Stedman!
No, thanks. Okay, get her on her, that lying bitch. Oprah. She came to South Florida. She was going to solve all the crime problems. She did that show on TV one day, and she was going to do this, and then she hightailed it out of there.
Oh, well, all the problems were solved.
She solved all the problems, and then she hauled ass and moved on and started giving away all that crap on TV. All the women. It's just pathetic. She's got this army of ignorant women who just follow her. They follow her over the edge of a cliff with those stupid pastel backgrounds, man, on that show where absolutely nothing happens. Arvida roof shoddy, owners allege. Homeowners in Weston and Davie have filed lawsuits against builders claiming Hurricane Wilma exposed shoddy construction work. Lawyer David Donor couldn't help but notice how the tiles on his Weston neighbor's roof shifted under their feet while they installed shutters in preparation for Hurricane Wilma, he said. Some of the tiles later peeled off during the storm, Donor said, banged against his house and landed in his yard. Last week, Donor filed a lawsuit on behalf of his neighbor against the home's builder, Arvida, alleging it violated the building code by failing to properly install the tiles. He and Boca lawyer R. Timothy Vanetta also filed a similar lawsuit involving roofing work and a Davie house. They're among the first post-Hurricane Wilma lawsuits that allege the storm exposed shoddy construction work in South Florida. And you can change the vowel in that word to an I, and I think it would still be very accurate. Oh,
that wasn't easy.
Wow. That's almost as good as rock bottom. Ooh, rock bottom. There's going to be an awful lot of construction defect litigation, predicted the Tom Shahidi of Adorno & Yoss, a South Florida law firm that recently created a disaster recovery practice to handle storm-related litigation. This is only the beginning. Shahidi predicted that litigation involving residential properties will include shutters and impact-resistant windows that fail to withstand Wilma's winds. Such lawsuits aren't anything new to Arvida, which paid out millions to settle claims made by homeowners whose houses were slammed by Andrew in '92. The storm sparked tougher building standards for South Florida. A spokesman for Jacksonville's St. Joe Company, which has owned Arvida since '97, couldn't be reached for comment. He's mum. Arvida created the city of Weston, which has more than 15,000 homes. On a recent afternoon, donor of Miami's Knobloch and Donor pointed to other homes in the subdivision known as the Ridges that also lost tiles. His conclusion, the tiles weren't secured correctly, either with mortar, adhesive, nails, or screws, if I can still say that. Donor is planning to amend the suit filed in Broward Circuit Court to add other homeowners, and will seek to have it certified as a class action suit. So there you go. Hop aboard if you want. 9:40. We got 37 minutes. We need 60 votes. That shouldn't be too tall an order, but don't take it for granted, boy. Sure, I may have said all the wrong things before. Didn't I?
No, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I did say all about, like, let's just ease off. We don't have no pressure. And then all of a sudden they don't want to hop on there, man. Hop on it now, baby. Hop on that pole. And don't slide off. Michigan school drops folk song. Boy, I hate when this happens. Berkeley, Michigan. Oh, Berkeley. How's old Berkeley doing? You seen that bitch? I mean, the Berkeley lady, was her birthday just a couple weeks ago, about 10 days ago.
I haven't seen her lately.
Same as mine, I guess. Was she born on the same day? Boy, what baggage I got. I got her and Cheryl Ween-Rifkin. Cheryl Weenie on the same day. You haven't seen Berkeley, huh?
Not lately.
She's busy trying to lose that one account she's still got. She's working. And she's also one of the wise guys now. A song about people picking cotton was pulled from a middle school concert in suburban Detroit after a black parent complained that it glorifies slavery.
Dixie?
I guess they haven't seen the Song of the South either, huh?
I guess not. That's why that's off the shelves, too. But
Superintendent Teresa Zumsteg decided yesterday to remove the song Pick a Bale of Cotton from the program, said Gwen Ahern, a spokesman for the Berkeley School District. Ahern said that when the song was picked for Wednesday's folk songs concert at Anderson Middle School, there wasn't any intent to offend anyone. As it became apparent that that is the case, we pulled the song, she said. They pulled it. The school is predominantly white. The song's lyrics include, jump down, turn around, pick a bale of cotton. Gotta jump down, turn around, oh lordy, pick a bale a day.
Let's do it together.
Parent Greg Montgomery said he complained to school officials when he was dissatisfied with the response, decided to pull his 11-year-old daughter, China, from singing. His daughter's name is China. It's mind-boggling that people don't understand sensitive issues, he told the Detroit News. China said they were bringing back the memories of how African-Americans picked cotton, and it wasn't a good memory. It was disrespectful to African-Americans. What a cotton-picking bunch of crap. Ahern said there's nothing derogatory in the song's lyrics, but the district didn't want China to miss the concert. For her family in the school district, the best thing was to pull the song, she said. Just pull it. Earlier, Ahern, while confirming that officials were considering pulling the song, had defended the choice. We used to sing that song when I was in school during the 50s, she said. It's like a southern type of folk song. I remember it just being perky. It was more of a song that people just sang for fun. Jump down, turn around, pick a bale of cotton. What's the big deal with that? What's the big Simmons, huh? What's the big Simmons? I think they probably were talking to Jesse Jackson and his love child. What? He probably spurred them on. He was probably behind the whole damn thing with his T.O. crap. Hey, Jesse, we hate you like poison, baby, at least on alternate days of the week. And today's one of them. Speaking of people we hate.
Who are willing to risk their lives.
Yeah. Hey, how about you, Donnie? How about you going over there and get on the front lines? You quizzling, you idiot.
You fairy.
951 on the poll, 951 vote. What do you think, 34 minutes, 49 votes?
Oh, yeah, easy. Ease off.
Don't say easy. Say, boy, we're under a lot of stress and pressure here. We won't be getting those big bucks unless these people hop on that poll of ours and vote.
Yeah, we won't get
vote their conscience
bonus.
or just make up some stupid-ass vote. When you're shopping for shoes, speaking of our good friend Berkeley, boy, she is doing a whale of a job, you know. She is the best. Comfort, fit, and value. Those are the three ingredients that's all about when you're taking care of your feet. So get over to Brandy's Shoes in Pompano Beach for the most comfortable fit in your favorite style of shoes. Brandy's carries a humongous, unbeatable selection of all the top brands, Rockport, Florsheim, Echo, Mephisto, SAS, New Balance, and more. And Brandy's professional shoe fitters will make sure you have a customized fit of your favorite comfort shoe every time. Just ask for Arnie. He'll take care of you and your Tootsies. And at Brandy's, chances are you'll never hear, oh, sorry, mister or ma'am, we don't have that style in your size, because they have such a big selection. Whatever style you pick out, it's there on the shelf to slap on your feet right now. And the pros at Brandy's understand fit and comfort, too. They even specialize in wide widths. Brandy's is well worth the trip from just about anywhere, which is why they've been around so long. For comfort, style, fit, value, and selection, think Brandy Shoes, and you'll find them at 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Open daily Monday through Saturday, 9 till 9, and every Sunday, 9 to 5. And all this week, it's Brandy's After Wilma sale. Men's Pro Walkers are $44.90. Men's Sperry Topsider AOs only $44.90. And Men's World Tour just $69.90. So be sure to get into Brandy's this week or do your shoe shopping on their website at brandysshoes.com.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Iron over here.
Looking for a value meal that's positively infectious? Head down to KFC Killer Flu Chicken for the Bird Flu Family Pack. 3 extra crispy legs, 2 thighs, and 4 contaminated beaks, all for only $9.99. It's fingers slicking good. It's a killer deal on a killer meal. KFC Killer Flu Chicken.
962 vote. We got 28 minutes. We need 38 votes. That shouldn't be too difficult, but don't back off now. Don't ease off. Keep the pressure on, man. Keep that pedal to the metal. That's it. We're desperate. Porn Talk stalks L.A. art project. This is from the L.A. Times that we used to like until they fired Robert Scheer, until they got bought out by a bunch of right-wing maniacs. It was an accusation of porn in the corn that aroused Aaron Landy's scorn.
Porn in the corn?
Porn in the corn and Aaron's scorn. The experimental filmmaker and documentarian was kicked off a 32-acre lot in downtown L.A. that's been planted with corn and turned into an art installation after officials claimed he had shot a pornographic movie among the stalks and husks.
Oh, my God.
Landy, 45, of Hollywood, denies that any nudity occurred during the months he spent photographing local artists and dancers staging their own performances at the agriculture-themed exhibit called Not a Cornfield. Landy alleges that he's being slandered and is demanding an apology from the Annenberg Foundation, which is financing the $2.2 million exhibition on state park property near Chinatown. The conflict comes as harvest time arrives at what the foundation characterizes as a living sculpture that's transformed a one-time barren rail yard. Landy said he photographed more than 24 local dancers, poets, actors, and artists, offering samples of their own work against the cornfield backdrop before he was ordered out by project administrators. He said he was filming a dancer in a colorful flowing gown near a row of corn stalks November 4th when project general manager Adolfo Nodal accused him of producing pornography. Nodal called in Los Angeles police and a state parks ranger to force him off the leased park property. Nodal, former general manager of the Los Angeles Cultural Affairs Department, denied Landy's assertion. We never accused him of filming pornography, but they were people filming naked people. We had an open policy, but then things started to happen, Nodal said. People filming naked people.
Oh, no.
What do you call that? Fun?
Yeah. Art?
But Landy had his high-definition video camera rolling during the confrontation and secretly recorded Nodal. You guys are shooting pornography, Nodal says on the tape. You also got a crop circle in the middle of the cornfield. You guys have been shooting porn in here. We have a lot of witnesses. On the videotape, Nodal is shown telling officers that these people aren't allowed here. We're going to kick them out every time they come here. The video shows officers listening carefully, first to Nodal, then to Landy before acknowledging they need to investigate further. But the park ranger was quick to assert authority upon arrival. He asked to view Landy's previously shot footage, advising the filmmaker that he'd be allowed to retain only videotape that the ranger found not objectionable, as he put it. The ranger warned Landy he would seize the camera if he found Landy filming again. After Landy objected that Not a Cornfield was a public art installation staged on public property, Nodal relented slightly, agreeing last week to allow additional filming during 3-hour periods on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but the cameraman was ordered to comply with strict rules and pay the cost of a security guard who'd watch him at all times. Landy was also barred from attempting to film Lauren Bond, the Artist and Annenberg Foundation trustee who organized the Not a Field exhibition. In a letter sent last week to Bond, Landy denied he created crop circles or shot pornography of nudes at the field. He complained that exhibition employees defamed him by telling families visiting the cornfield last week that he was a porno guy, an assertion that sparked an angry confrontation by one set of parents. Landy said he'd been falsely blamed after Not a Cornfield employees found a section of corn stalks flattened and condoms scattered around on the ground. Oh, God. They are probably just like blown-up balloons.
Right, for fun.
Well, look at this. Here, Sean sent a bunch of polls today. Nice going, Sean. I haven't even looked at them yet, but I'm sure they're great. Just like the Frosted Flakes, they're great. Isn't that what Tony the Tiger would say if he weren't dead? You bet.
He would if he weren't, but he is.
He's dead. Oh, wait till you hear this. Speaking of that, good segue. European medicine regulators have ordered a safety check on Tamiflu after reports that 2 teenage boys died in Japan in apparent suicides after taking the anti-flu drug. So if you're worried about bird flu, avian flu, start worrying about Tamiflu. The deaths have raised safety fears about the only treatment against the threatened pandemic of avian flu. The deaths are not linked in occur a year apart. The Japanese Health Ministry issued a warning in June 2004 about psychological and neurological disorders linked with Tamiflu, with an instruction that doctors should be alerted, but no similar warning was issued in Europe and the UK, Tamiflu is made by Swiss-based pharmaceutical company Roche. Yesterday, a spokesman for the European Medicines Evaluation Agency, which licenses drugs in the EU, including the UK, said the agency had been aware of the first death but not the second. Roche has been asked to closely follow reports of psychological disorders, delusional states, and abnormal behavior linked with the drug. I bet you Joel must be taking that. At the moment, there's no warning about this in Europe. We need to establish if there's any link. He added that the effects of the drug had to be distinguished from the effects of the flu. Influenza itself can cause confusion, and it can be difficult to tell whether the mental state is the effect of the Tamiflu or the illness. The Pharmaceuticals and Medical Devices Agency in Japan has received reports of 64 cases of psychological disorders linked to the drug between 2000 and 2004. The 2 Japanese boys were reported to have exhibited abnormal behavior after taking the drug. In the first case, a 17-year-old high school student who was at home alone ran out of the house and jumped over a railing into the path of a truck in February 2004, shortly after taking the drug. In the second case, a junior high school student apparently fell from the 9th floor of his apartment building in February 2005. Maybe he was an Eric Clapton fan, who knows? Chugai Pharmaceuticals, the Japanese, hey, what Chugai think of this? The Japanese operating company for Roche, the Swiss-based manufacturer Tamiflu, said, we reported these cases to the health ministry as a link between the deaths and the drug could not be ruled out. Well, there you go. Take it at your own risk. I would just stay away from all them parrots and geese and birds and all kinds, cockatoos, all of them. 971 on the poll. We need 29 votes in 22 minutes. Should be a piece of cake. Even Michael Corleone would be impressed. Cake? You're right. The dialogue in that movie is it's so bad.
It's a shame.
It is a shame. It could have been a great film, but he wanted to cut corners. That's why he put his ugly daughter with a big schnoz in there, and then he had his just crap. George Hamilton, my ass. I mean, well, how does he in any way, shape, or form
that movie
fit
is a lot
in with
like,
that group? Huh?
It's a lot like the other Star Wars movies. It's the same kind of reaction, like just crapping on an institution.
Yeah, but at least they had a good story to tell here. They just did it very poorly.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Maybe they should fear you.
Yeah, stealing from themselves.
And then when, I'll tell you the scene where she's giving Michael his insulin injection out on a patio.
Yeah.
And she starts, Alfredo, maybe it was an accident. She, I don't get it. Like, we're all delusional. Like he's that crazy, he doesn't know what the hell he did? Yeah, maybe it was just an accident. And somebody got hurt. Crazy. Sunbather struck by lifeguard and truck, speaking of people who are, in harm's way. A Miami Beach lifeguard driving a 3,400-pound pickup truck ran over the head and shoulder of a sunbather Sunday morning, but the young woman was able to leap to her feet as witness screamed at the driver to stop. That girl, she should give thanks to God.
Oh, God!
That she's alive because that truck ran right over her head, said Jairo Liberos, who witnessed the 10 a.m. incident. How do you say that? Jairo, Jairo?
Okay. Yes.
It's a miracle she's alive because I was sure her head was going to be crushed, he said. Jillian Gonzalez, 19, was lying on the sand at South Point Park next to friend Daniel Martinez. Everybody over there is named ends in a Z, with a blue and white cooler next to her head when the truck driven by Orlando Ortiz came over the embankment. I wonder if he was kin to Lou Ortiz, used to play second base for the Rochester Red Wings 100 years ago. Orlando Ortiz. The left tire nearly missed Martinez's head, then it crushed the cooler before driving over Gonzalez's left shoulder and cheek. Gonzalez was standing up and talking after the incident, Libero said. It was the first time Gonzalez, who lives in Miami Springs and is a sophomore studying to be a teacher at Miami-Dade College, has been to the beach in 2 months, her father said. I don't think she'll be going back soon. But instead of a pleasant day at the beach, she spent it being treated at Mount Sinai Medical Center, and she survived that. Boy, is she ever lucky. She was, unlike Morris Gibbs, she survived that. She was released the same day, according to Ocean Rescue representatives. Ernie Gonzalez, Jillian's father, didn't provide specific information on her injury, saying she was still being examined by doctors. By the grace of God,
oh, God!
She's at home tonight instead of a funeral home, he said. Since Wilma, Miami Beach has allowed lifeguards to temporarily use trucks in place of the decimated lifeguard stands, according to city officials. Ortiz, Gonzalez, Martinez. You see all the connections here, huh?
Right.
Who's with a Z?
They have V's.
Yeah. 982, we got 20 minutes. Should be crawling right over there to steal that extra. Now, how's the pizza coming? We still got that slice from or what?
No, I'm afraid.
Oh, no.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Count badly.
Winding your way down the Baker Sound, finding a gray head of PTL. Well, it's just a lonely day since Tammy's gone away, 'cause he couldn't give her everything. The city preacher spends his time in jail, but he should get up off his knees, 'cause he's getting nailed. Is his aspiration gone? 'Cause Tammy's moving on. Yeah, she's looking for the wild thing. They used to think that it was so easy to beg for cash with Tammy's face greasy. Now he's crying 'cause she's filing now. Just once a week and then she'd be happy. But Tammy faces Jim made love crappy. So she's filing while he's crying now.
Truth is, he didn't know a G-spot from a club sandwich.
Remember those glorious days when they were stuck in handcuffs, he was crying and putting on the crazy routine the whole day? Remember that?
No.
Jim Baker, you don't remember that?
Yeah. Hiding under the couch and everything.
Yeah. I think we might have our 1,000 votes by now. I haven't taken a puke at it. 996. Like I said, we got a little more work to do. Not a lot. Don't get carried away. We don't want to overdo it, because if you set the bar too high, then people expect you to go back and do it again. And this won't happen again anytime soon. Although tomorrow we probably will, because we're going to have 2 polls tomorrow. The first one being about your favorite Bee Gees. Put on your stinking cap overnight and think about that. And a lot of you are going to say, oh, the Bee Gees suck. We don't like the Bee Gees music.
Wusses.
Yeah, you do. These are the same people that claim that they use soap. And these are the same ones who are dropping it all the time. That's why they still use the soap. It's kind of hard to drop the body wash. It's really not easy. Not once have I ever dropped a plastic bottle of body wash. Not one time yet. Right. But the soap, just, oops, slippery, and there it goes. Let me reach right down and grab that baby. As a young lawyer in the Reagan administration, Supreme Court nominee Sam Alito Jr., fascist-in-chief, wrote that the Constitution doesn't protect the right to an abortion, declared his firm opposition to a certain affirmative action programs, and strongly endorsed a government role in protecting traditional values. Are you following all of those buzz terms?
No.
The comments came in a job application to then Attorney General Edwin Meas III in '85. When Alito was seeking to bolster his conservative credentials and move up at the Justice Department, he was subsequently promoted to Deputy Assistant Attorney General. He said he was particularly proud of his contribution to the case in which the Reagan administration had argued before the Supreme Court that racial and ethnic quotas should not be allowed and that the Constitution does not protect a right to abortion. Sam Alito, another Nazi, and they had, what's her name, came out, Dianne Feinstein before. She had her meeting with him today, and bada-beep, bada-boop, and he's a very bright man, but, all this other waffling. Why not just come out and say he's a Nazi, okay, Dianne, you bitch?
Oi!
What is wrong with you? All these Democrats, all beating around the bush, so to speak. That's the problem. They're not beating around the bush. Not nearly enough. We got 1,000 and some vote. 1,003. Thank you so much. Isn't that nice of them to, put us over the top again?
Mighty white of them.
That was. I'm thinking about lunch. What are your thoughts on dessert?
That pecan pie.
I'm going to get that, since I'm going in the store. Listen to me. I'm going to go get the Bee Gees music since I have none of it here. I'm sure that it's there, right, probably behind you. If
or stolen.
If any, yeah.
I looked for it and it's not there, so it's
yeah,
it's
probably
stolen.
not there. That's
well,
right.
If the pizza thieves start
stealing our pizza, then why would anybody stop stealing all my CDs that are sitting down I'll never see again anyway? But since I got to go in the store anyway to get my
pin
Bee Gees, I'm going to get you a pin.
All right.
And then you give it to Josh, and we'll see what he thinks of it. I think you might actually like it.
I'll give it a shot. I'll give it to Josh.
No, I know you'll like it.
All right.
I'd be shocked if you didn't like it. It's not one of the great movies of all time. It's a Canadian movie, although I don't know where it's shot. It doesn't make any difference. Iraqi detainees claim they were put into a cage of lions, and if we're lying, you're dying. 2 Iraqi businessmen who were imprisoned by U.S. forces in Iraq claimed yesterday that American soldiers threw them into a cage of lions in a Baghdad palace as part of a terrifying interrogation in 2003. If it was good enough for Daniel and lions, then it's good enough for them. Remember Daniel in the Lion's Den?
Yes, I do.
And then he saw the handwriting on the wall and it said, Baruch atah, up yours, something like that.
Can you name his friends who were in there with him?
No.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
And Abednego.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Meshach, is that what you said? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And to bed we go.
Jews in your names.
Yeah, right. You know what sounds awfully
gay?
To bed we go? What kind of crap is that? Anyway, they took me behind the cage. They were screaming at me, scaring me, and beating me a lot. I'm not going to read this guy's name. It's an interview. I can't read that name. It just makes no sense. One of the soldiers would open the door, and 2 soldiers would push me in. The lions came running toward me, and they pulled me out and shut the door. I completely lost consciousness. Army spokesman Paul Boyce said he's never heard of lions being used in any detainee operations, and it's never come up in any more than yada, yada, yada. But the interesting part is that Saddam Hussein's eldest son, Uday, kept lions in his compound at the presidential palace, which was taken over by U.S. troops during the war. There you go. And after they killed some of the wrong people the first time, then they killed Uday and Kusei and all these other goyim.
They were just fun kids.
That's right. The 2 men described the July day in 2003 when they were arrested by American troops with guns and armored vehicles. They said they were covered with plastic hoods and repeatedly struck by soldiers using the butt of their guns. They both described standing in front of a lion cage and said they could hear other prisoners screaming as the metal cage door creaked open and slammed shut. They threatened if I didn't confess, they'd put me in the cage, said Khalid, adding that the soldiers kept asking him where Saddam was. I laughed. I thought they were kidding me. They asked where are the weapons of mass destruction. I was very surprised and thought it was weird. But when he left, he said he was only beaten more. And he said they pushed him into a cage 3 times, pulling him out as the lions moved toward him. Both men said they suffer continuing physical and psychological trauma such as pain, ulcers, nightmares, and insomnia, very similar to what John Voight experienced after deliverance, after that trip up the Cohulawasi River up to Aintree. Saber said he was held by U.S. forces for about 6 months and Khalid for about 2 months. Solamente do. And here you go. Daniel and the Lion's Den. Jonah and the whale. Wasn't it Jonah and the whale?
It was, but it wasn't a whale. It was a great fish.
Big fish?
Yes.
I think it was Charlie Tuna myself. Maybe it was the Big Kahuna.
This is
How's Robbie Young doing? He's still dead?
Yeah.
This is
Hey, Robbie.
You fairly can. You get a lot of big sports. Neil Rogers on Sports Hole Radio, WQAM.
All right. I'm dying over here. Miami has the Dolphins, still the worst football team. They're every gambler's nightmare. They're every bookie's dream. They can't score any touchdowns, not even one field goal. And when you say Miami, you're still talking toilet bowl, 'cause they're the Miami Dolphins.
Oh!
Miami Dolphins.
You fair.
Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league? 32. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Don't bet on them, you'll always lose. The Dolphins can't beat anyone, can't even beat the spread. I wish that Vince Lombardi could come back from the dead.
Oy.
Nick Saban makes them practice while he wears that stupid hat. He'll end up like their last head coach, that loser Dave Wannstedt, and they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league?
About 30, man.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. I miss Don Shula, how about you? Some Dolphins are in trouble with lots of legal strife. Their tight end likes to work out by beating up his wife. Half the team are criminals, the other half's on drugs. And this is what will happen when you draft a bunch of thugs. And they're the Miami Dolphins. Oh! Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league? 32. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. They really are a motley crew. The Dolphins have no blocking. They've got no passing game. I've got just one suggestion. They ought to change their name to the Miami Tampons. And why do such a thing? They're good for just one period and have no second string. And they're the Miami Dolphins.
Oh!
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league? 32! Miami Dolphins.
Rock solid.
Miami Dolphins. Again, the fans begin to boo. You suck! The Dolphins have no balls except the ones they're playing with. I just can't wait to see how Ricky Williams takes a hit. It doesn't matter if he never has another toke.
It seems that this team's playoff dreams have all gone up in smoke, and they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number, oh what the hell, 32. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Now they're through.
Absolutely.
Okay, 1:59. It's almost that time. Well, this show went by like greased lightning today, didn't it?
Oh, I turned my pot off. What I meant to say was, yes, grease.
Just like that. 1,018 votes. See, we had a nice little cushion on there just to make sure we got our 1,000. The biggest baker on TV ever is Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. They've held the lead from the beginning, and just like Seattle Slew, nobody can catch them. 201. Pat Robertson, 192, though he's right on their tail. Dr. Phil, 166. Benny Hinn, 133. Haven't seen him in a long time. That's probably why I'm in such a good mood. Bill O'Reilly, 126. You know, sometimes when you don't see somebody for a long time, you're in a good mood because of it. You know Bill O'Reilly, 126. Jimmy Swaggart, 46. Geraldo, 35. Kevin Trudeau, he belongs behind bars, 29. Con artist Faker, don't buy that book. Janet Paul Crotch, 25. Dr. Kennedy, 17. Tim Russert, 13. Ernest Ainsley, 9. Richie Simmons, 8. Peter Popoff, 6. Ron Popeil, 5. And Oprah Solamente, 3.
Bye, bye, bye.